Okay, let's stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to a meeting of the Stamford Selectboard. If you have a matter to discuss that is not included on the agenda, you may do so by addressing the chairperson and stating your name and address. You'll notice that all our meetings are recorded, and this is to aid with the summarization of the minutes. Visitors are welcome, and we allow 5 minutes of comment per visitor and 15 minutes per topic. Discussions will be held in a calm and civilized manner and respectful of others. Select board members present are
Mike Denal.
Nancy Bashika.
Jack Gremlin.
John Dunn. Kurt Gamari.
Will there be any adding of items or removing items from tonight's agenda? You have correspondence or?
I don't think I have really anything new.
Okay,
We may possibly need a executive session
yes, possible executive session for,
to see how things go
Yeah.
on.
Will there be any adjustments to the agenda such as changing the order of the items? And yes, the Forest Service is here, they will be on first. And we also have Justin from Allstate Paving, and I'd like to switch Justin first, and then Martina Barnes will speak afterwards.
I'd also like to enforce our time limits tonight a little bit better.
Okay? We have been very lax at that. Okay? Tonight's meeting is being recorded on the YouTube video. Okay. First order of business is hearing a visitor, so Justin, is it Justin?
Yes, it is.
From Allstate Paving.
Yeah, Allstate Materials Group.
You're on.
I just came down, we're gonna honor the quoted price from last year. We're just gonna repeat the price increase to get you guys on the board. You know, if you guys wanna move forward, I'll work with Dave, get you guys on the calendar and get you ahead of everyone, cause we're starting to come into the busy season with the bids and estimates with all the other towns, so.
So when you say put us on the calendar, when do you think these projects would start?
As soon as they get it signed, I can look at our calendar and work on it with Dave, yeah. There's one earlier in the season.
Do we have the contract or have we signed it?
Yeah, I think Lori has a copy of it. I
Okay.
sent a copy of it, yeah, this one.
And do you know what road you'll be starting first?
No, we'll work with Dave on that.
And this is for all three of them?
So can you verify, Dave, that this is what the people voted on, the
Yes.
exact price?
Lori and I double checked.
Okay.
Today.
Cause I don't have it in front of me.
Yes, it is.
If that's the case, and we've gotta get on the calendar, I'd like to make a motion that we sign this. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
588, 567.
Thank you, we appreciate the repeat
Just one
business from the
signature?
town, and that's why we honor the price, cause.
One
Yes,
signature.
thank you.
Yes, thank you, because,
Might be more coming.
Absolutely appreciate it.
See how things go.
okay. Lori, can I have a copy of this afterwards? Just one signature and, oh,
That's why I made the
Trucks,
motion
I
that
own
you sign
blacktop.
it, 'cause it's just you.
okay. Anything else for Justin, Dave, or good? Thank you. Thank you, Martina. You're up. Yep.
I brought my whole
You can,
today.
you can, if it's easier over on the desk there, or we might have more room.
You want an easel? Okay, she's got all kinds of people to hold the maps up. Yeah, stable, thank you. Staple it right to his forehead.
Hi, everyone. Back.
I'm back, right, yeah, I guess it's been about a year. Martina Barnes, I'm the district ranger in Manchester, with the US Forest Service. We're doing our annual kind of select board meeting tour and, just kind of providing an update to you on some of the projects happening in Stamford, and if you have any other general questions about what's happening. Fortunately, 'cause we got this question the other night, I just wanted to mention that on our ranger district, we did have a few staffing cuts, unfortunately, but for the most part, at the moment, we're actually maybe getting a few seasonal employees to help support our work for the summer months, but for the most part, it seems like our operations are pretty stable at the moment, despite what you might be hearing about cuts. So, generally speaking, the cuts are more at the Washington office and regional office levels, not so much at the ranger district level. But yeah, just as you probably know, there's a lot going on in Stamford, and I brought, everyone can, maybe we can do a quick introduction, so I just, Steve.
Hey, good evening, Steve Pitlick, I'm the Recreation Program Manager here on the Manchester District.
And Stacy Stratton, I'm the timber manager here on the district.
I'm Mary Beth Hanley, and I'm a botanist.
So yeah, we brought some staff, and we just want to, I know you have another bunch of topics to cover, so we just thought we'd talk about specifically on the timber side what's happening, and then if you have any specific questions regarding recreation, Steve is here, and then Mary Beth can talk about if you have specific questions related to botany or plants, rare plants, and what we do to protect those, especially given, or also what we do to combat invasive plants as well. She can speak to that. We always try to do our best to protect the rare plants and control the invasive plants during our projects that happen on the forest. So I'll probably turn it over to Stacy. And actually, before I do that, I did just want to quickly mention that the park forestry donation or land acquisition that is still being planned, but it's currently, because of limited staffing, we don't have a forest surveyor at the moment, and that's the final survey is still in process with that, so it's probably still at least a year or more out. So all of our projects related to land donations or land acquisitions are moving extra slow right now because of staffing shortages. So that's still in the works, but
How many acres in Stamford?
it's this map says 1,420, but I don't know if that's all.
Up for purchase?
Yeah, donation by park forestry. Yep.
Located where roughly?
And you were gonna keep this map with you guys,
Oh,
so you can,
alright.
we can send you the map as a PDF. Yeah.
Do you know how you would be accessing that parcel?
Yeah, I
264.
probably.
Through what?
264. So it's all up in there, it's just the butts where you're cutting basically already, right?
Yeah, it does.
And that's a donation?
Yep.
That's all 1,400 acres, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
So, and then, just before I hand it over to Stacy, there's a small unit that we're planning to do a prescribed burn-in this spring called called Camp Casino, because it's there. But so generally speaking, as you know, we do most of our prescribed spring burning in the spring in April and May, and so that is tentatively on the schedule, 23-acre unit. But we'll be notifying, doing all the notifications to the town and the fire wardens and sheriff's department if there is, like, the day before the burn, just to give you guys a heads up.
What kind of trees you burn?
Well, those are some.
Coniferous?
Openings.
Yeah, they're openings. They're generally wildlife, temporary wildlife opening areas.
The great young forest?
Yeah. All right, I'll start it over, I'll step away. Earlier, Casey talked about all the timber happening, timber sales.
Just a little bit with this one here, it's like, so that was like part of the Camp Casino timber sale, and so they went in afterwards and they masticated it, they ground everything down, and And then now it's at a point where they're gonna burn it, and then probably like every 7 years or so, they'll go back and burn it again, just to keep the opening there. So it'll be rotating around. So we've got the sales we talked about last year, Roaring Brook, which is off the 264 road. That's in progress. They made really good gains on it this year. We had a good logger nail with a forwarder, so even when it was bad weather, a track vehicle can go places a skidder can't. So doing really well. The Cardinal Brook, that one's Allard, and they had a logger in there this winter. I don't know how much he's gotten done. He's more like just a cable skidder type, and that's slower. The Maltese sale, again, same thing. It's kind of a little slower. Smaller loggers. That's what we kind of designed it for, to get a variety of people. The Broad Brook sale, as you know, that's been going. It's off the Risky Ranch Road right now. Hunter Excavation has that, and he's been in there cutting quite a bit this winter, and he's been working with the town here quite a bit, for the road crew to make sure some of that stuff's got when they're trying to plow, there's like a giant rock in the way. You don't know until you hit it with a plow. So they've done a little bit of road work, coordinating with the town. We do have a future timber sale, and it's called the Dome Timber Sale, and it's over here. So it's north of the county road, going up to Sucker Pond. So behind the gate. So we're going to do some management in there. It's going to be a stewardship, so it's going to be more than just timber. It'll be, trying to, take out some of those ruts, water barring it, trying to get water back where it's supposed to be going, because, it kind of gets a lot of use in there that's probably not always the best. And so there's a lot of work to do in there. Plus, I don't know if there's going to be any planting or not, because mine up there usually is. We put a lot of oak in places, trying to get a variety of trees in different spots where it fits. Any questions about these? I mean, we've been at it for several years down here, but if you have any questions, yes.
When will the logging operations be done on the Roaring Brook and Risky Ranch?
I think he's done now. Well, he's for the season.
For the season, okay.
There's a 5-year contract, and it's been extended a couple times by the past administration, and then this administration is probably going to extend it because of weather. They're not getting a good winter. So I would like to think, if we get another good winter, it'll be done. The guy, his name is Bill Brock, that's doing the cutting, and he's really efficient.
And that's, you said, what is there, three areas that you're cutting?
Yes, yeah.
So will they all be done for the season or done completely?
So we've done for the season.
Okay.
And so once mud season ends, they'll go in and where they've cut, they'll put the water bars in, take out any infrastructure that they put in. They've been kind of fording, I don't know if it's like Roaring Brook, that, the power line there, they're kind of fording through there with the forwarder. They gotta wait till after mud season when it's too sloppy. It's like the excavator does more damage than that. So they'll probably be in there doing that. And then the other thing is so after we do a harvest, we call it site preparation. And so like trees that, smaller trees that they got knocked over or they're scarred up, which happens all the time. Someone's going to go in and usually put a contract out for that, and they just take brush saws and cut those trees down. And that gets enough daylight to the ground, especially if you take some beech out for a couple of years, to let some other trees start growing, give them a little bit of a head start. But I haven't been up there this winter. I've tried to stay out because I don't like meat logging trucks on narrow roads. I don't have a CB radio like my administrator does to call ahead and say I'm coming in. I've had a couple of close calls in my time. But yeah, so they should be closing out for the season, and hopefully they've been working closely with the road crew for the town, because I don't know if you guys have posted roads. I didn't really see anything on the way down. You probably have, right?
Yes.
So, but yeah.
Have you consummated a deal with Public Land Trust for the Broad Brook purchase?
For
Last time you were here last year, it was hanging.
That's the park forestry that I mentioned, so that's still not closed. That's still, because of the survey work that still needs to be done, to finalize, it's like at least a year out, so no.
I just had one more question before the botanists did that. Could you tell me how the jumping worm is affecting territory around here? We see a huge invasion, and we have a lot of trees dying.
Yeah, I'd like to know about that, because our soil scientist has gotten involved with that, and she wants to potentially use like a mobile app to collect data on them.
Yeah, that
And
was
I just
nice.
know from, because I'm a herbicide applicator, I just know that it's a big problem now.
It's a huge problem.
So I'd like to get your contact information.
And of course, they realize that they devastate forests, right? You could come to my house, pull up my side, and my wife came out screaming, stink, stink.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
make great worms for anyone.
Yeah,
Those
they
things
move
wiggle,
around a
man.
lot, yeah.
They look like snakes.
The other thing that's coming down here is beach leaf disease. So we have beach bark disease, which, is not great for the beach, but there's a lot of, or in this area, there's a lot of clear beach, some of the genetics a little bit, we try to find those. The beach leaf disease is actually caused by a nematode, which is a microscopic worm, and they don't know where it came from, they don't know anything about the history of it, but Reedsboro especially, you go down there, it's like the forests are just clear.
Seems like last summer it exploded like last summer.
It did, yep.
Yeah.
So, like, when we're out in the woods, we try to, like, make sure our boots get cleaned off when we get back, but, just try not to, because, if it's in the soil, we try not to spread things. We try to be cognizant of that, but, yeah, that's something that's really coming out on the beach, if they're not getting it, they're.
It's interesting. I've been trying to get rid of my worms. I pile them up and at night I go down and throw them on Kurt's property.
Yeah. Oh, in the brooks, the trout, they do love them.
Oh, they do love them. They are good.
So,
No, but I'm serious. You're welcome. Come. I mean, we have. I don't know where the hell they came from.
What's your,
Oh,
Yeah, let's get your
1339
contact info.
mangroves.
well, anyways, yeah.
Question for the botanist. Before this project occurred, Cardinal Stream was up for reclassification to an A1 stream for aquatic biota. And Roaring Brook was up for a designation for Class B, which are both excellent streams.
Okay,
Post-operation, are those classifications still gonna be?
I
Possible.
actually would, probably the hydrologist would be the person to answer that question, so I don't know the answer, but I can take your name and.
Sure.
And
So
your number and
hydrology,
ask them to
hydrology
call
for the village and down beyond here is another question that I would have. How does this affect the hydrology of the town? Future water resources.
Right.
So, are those studies taking place before these operations occur?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question. What we do is we support
No,
recreation.
you did, we do, have everybody come in, we
Yeah,
have our
we do.
soil,
yeah.
we have our
That's
mitigations.
part of,
Right.
yeah, that's definitely part of the
Soil
deal.
scientists and a hydrologist.
I figured it was, I just figured I'd also add.
Yeah, no, it's important, I don't have the answer for you.
Right.
But if you could.
Sure.
Sorry, Steve, we're using your pad for.
And then also reference.
Any other questions about the timber stuff, or, yes?
Okay.
I'm just curious as to how you negotiate your website to look up information on your active timber sales.
It's gotten a little easier, it's,
I get in there and I go to projects and the projects aren't even listed.
they aren't, okay, no, I'm sorry if they're not, I was just looking the other day and they seem to be on there, but.
I was able to find the one about the right of way of 264, which I assume was,
Sure.
to allow Daryl Peeper to get to his camp or whatever it was. But, I was looking for
Yeah, I think the,
the maps for the actual timber sales to see what units were being logged and which ones.
send them that, yeah.
And whether or not that they are conducive to summertime logging or wintertime logging or.
If we get your name on that, because, like, as far as future projects, we have, we're the government, everything has an acronym, so we call it SOPA, which is Schedule of Proposed Actions. And so, like I said, if you want, we can send a link, we'll get, if you want to put your name down here, and I can send stuff back to you, but.
Yeah.
Then there's the link, it's like any website, especially ours, is not the best, we're trying to get it
And I
better,
think
but.
the part of the way it's confusing and we'll provide this feedback is that each of these timber sales is, they're all part of Route 9.
Part of a bigger project.
Yeah, they're part of another,
Oh, yeah.
it's not like individually,
Believe me.
okay,
I've
you've
tried
gone down that
every
rabbit
route
hole,
that I
okay.
could think of.
Okay.
I knew how I got there before, and I didn't get there that same.
No, we've moved it around, we've tried to improve it, which, it's, but no, if we have your information, like, I can send you a link directly to help you with some of that, and then I can send you some maps too with it. Like a lot of, like, my sale area maps, they're made through, ARC map, and so it's geo-referenced, so if you have a Venza, which is free, it's an app on your phone, you can load my timber sale map right in and navigate like it's a map.
I guess I should just go see Nancy, I see she's got one right there.
That's one, yeah.
They gave it to me last year.
We'll
I
get
have
your
a
name.
question. I'm wondering, are you doing anything preventative at all about the Japanese beetles? I used to live in Worcester and was there when that infestation came through and hit the maples. And I was reading something recently that they're thinking that they're migrating up this way.
You mean the spongy moth or the Japanese beetle?
The Japanese
Japanese
beetles,
beetle.
yeah.
They've been here forever.
Yeah, they're kind of endemic here, they just kind of, up and down the populations a little bit, but they've been here for a long. We don't have any plants that I know of, but like spongy moth, which, the old name was gypsy moth.
Yeah.
Well, that's like in
This
that
would be the beetle.
over there, and then emerald ash borer in this area is like
She
really
could
bad.
get, sorry, she could
Yeah.
get it, are you familiar with Vermont invasives?
No, I'm not.
That's the
Are
website.
you familiar
Okay.
with getting online? If you type in vermontinvasives.org, it will give you all the information on invasive species in the state. So you can look up and see, they'll give you a profile and tell you where it is and what they're doing and.
No, I just wondered, 'cause we think, in Worcester, they lost thousands of maple trees, as a result of the boring that they were doing, so.
And then you could also, you could, if you know your county, or what, are we in, Wyndham County?
Bennington.
Bennington County, and you could contact the county forester specifically on your, for issues like that on your private property, the county forester for Bennington County.
Okay,
Also, even, I think, like, that's the services that, like, what they provide, they can give you, how to manage, something like that.
okay, all right, thank you.
I have one more question, does the Forest Service still have anything like they used to have years ago with ranger sales? For timber?
I know, because everything has to go through the whole. But what I do have is like, that's one of the things that we're short-staffed about, like firewood. Like I mark a lot, dead and down, you get a firewood permit, it's $10 a cord. Our district doesn't have that right now, we just don't have somebody that can do it, because it's money, so you have to have special clearance. But I go out and I mark a lot of timber on the roadside for people, to cut firewood. And that's about as much as I can do to help that, but yeah, we don't have like any, we just can't, we're not allowed to.
What, the reason I ask is I know of a really nice white ash stand off of Route 8 in Searsburg, just north of the Bass Trail corner.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a shame to see that stuff end up just lying there on the ground.
Yeah, actually, in this whole, across the forest, we have I don't wanna call it spraying, because it's not. What we're doing is like, we are going into some areas like that, like, they have like superior ash. And we're inoculating the trees. And so we put a little hole in and we put a pesticide in that goes through the bark, and if there's anything in there, it gets killed. And we're just hoping that we have a seed source left when it goes through. Like, I came from Pennsylvania before here in the Allegheny.
Oh, yeah,
There's nothing. All the ash is in.
But, that particular stand right there was probably within 300 yards of Route 8, and every ash tree there is already dead, 2 years ago. And this stuff is still in reasonably good shape. And
And it may be in a project we're doing now, because like, we have several other big projects. And without knowing, I think I know where you're talking, it's on Route 8, just above where the trail crosses the road. I can look, because we have early successional habitat project that's going on, and like, we may already have a stand in there that I just don't know about yet.
yeah, it might be a good one to walk into.
Yeah, I'll send my silviculturist, we've been walking a lot of them the last couple of days.
You're not using biologics, are you, in any areas?
No, we just, what we're trying to kill is just, we just can't go willy-nilly with it, like when I was in the severe natural forest, there's tansy out there. And so there's one hormone you can spray on the tansy that only affects tansy, and it grows itself to death. So then you just walk along and just spray everything. But here, it's pretty strict.
I heard neighboring states are using them They're experimenting with moth.
Yeah, we're pretty careful about that, you know, we
Yeah.
work with them on it, you know,
Yeah.
because we don't introduce something that's worse like carp, you know, that's a good
Right, right.
example, you know, we got milfoil, so let's bring carp in,
Right.
they like milfoil, but like the other stuff better. So we try, you know, we have, you know, special wasps that they're trying on some of
Yes.
these things, and like purple loosestrife, you know, like there's like special beetles that really like purple loosestrife, and we're experimenting, like, the 20 years I've been in, they're still working at it, make sure it doesn't like anything else. So they're trying some things, and that's through the Northern Research Station. It's kind of interesting once in a while when I see them. Yes.
Back to the plant stuff. Hogweed. Someone was supposed to get back to us about what we spray on it to get rid of it. Because you guys open up a lot of areas now, and that stuff is growing like really fast.
Keep it in your eyes.
It is very, very.
Keep it away from your eyes.
Thinking hogweed.
Well,
Hogweed is weird.
got a white flower on it, that will burn right down to the bone if you get it on you.
Yeah, it is around in areas that have been cut or mowed on roadsides in the forest.
You're getting into a couple of different, you're
Somebody was
talking poison parsnip and knotweed.
Yeah.
Knotweed is ridiculous.
Hogweed's out there.
You
It's
cut,
out.
you cut it off below the ground, and then you bury the root, and it's supposed to kill it. But we don't wanna get next to it when we're doing trail work. So we were supposed to, somebody was supposed to check in if we could spray something on it, we didn't know what we could use it for us.
Dig it up, don't touch it.
Spray, I mean, without, I don't know what the.
Well, we don't, that I know of, we don't have giant hogweed, here, but we have a native hogweed. I'm not sure if we need to visit the
Yeah,
site.
maybe,
It's all up,
that-
you go up to the old stagecoach area up on Stagecoach in Woodford, it's all
but
in there.
there's different, the giant versus the nape, like, is there a?
Yeah,
there's a
It's-
difference
I've seen it
between
down here in
giant-
Stanford down here
It's
too.
probably, yeah, that's big.
Yeah.
It grows up
So
pretty
she's
small.
saying that that's not the giant one is like really giant.
Yeah, it's like, it'd be like at least 8 feet tall, if not more.
So what we do,
And
we
leaves
cut
are
it,
different.
we'll take a shovel and cut it below the dirt. And then get rid
So there, yeah, I guess exactly, we can spray, they
if
can
we then
spray it.
spray on there, to kill it.
It is a native plant, but it does have some contact dermatitis. There's some of the plants in the APACA, the carrot family, do that, like, well, poison parsnip and wild chervil, they're all in the same family.
But I mean, if it's grow right along the trail, we don't wanna leave it because something might get on it.
Okay, well, we could check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah. We can use something to spray, either like a Roundup or, then once that sprays up in the forest.
right, yeah, thank you. I know if you've been here, we should probably wrap, I don't know if there's any, just I'll leave it to, just if Steve had anything from a rec perspective, I don't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, just some, our recreation priorities down here in Stamford, they include public access trails, dispersed recreation. We've got the Appalachian Trail and Long Trail running through here, we offer some snowmobile trails. We've been working with VASA on the summer off-highway vehicle system. Some of the dispersed sites we have, the Seth Warner shelter, we moved that up the trail a little bit further. It was kind of between Klondike, Risky Ranch, and County Road. Now it's like further up where we don't have as many user group conflicts. We used to have herding there. I guess that was moved with a skidder in the 80s, so it's been moved around a few times, and now it's completely rebuilt. We haven't heard any issues between groups down there. The Green Mountain Club have done a bunch of work on the Appalachian Trail up to Risky Ranch, some improvements. But yeah, we have limited recreation sites down here. We got some trailheads. It's just over the line in Reedsboro or Hartwellville. It's another big one. But yeah, I just wanted to emphasize our partnerships. Green Mountain Club, VAST, and VASA. Without them, we wouldn't really be able to manage the miles that we have. And I appreciate all the local clubs, Tom and folks that help do the brushing, like you're saying, along those corridors, the water bar maintenance. Without having partners out there, the works wouldn't get done at the level that we need. So, thank you.
How was the Sucker Pond Trail project? As far as you guys approving that for off-highway vehicle use?
So after the timber sale, I think that's going to be our opportunity. Stacy mentioned there's some stewardship funds, so it'll be used for skidding and hauling. I think that alone will be able to improve it. And then we're gonna be working, to do that relocation along the wetland. That's pretty much the next step. So if we get the relocation, the timber sale, and we'll probably seek some funding, because we don't have enough internal funding to take on that project alone. So I would say, you know, our ultimate goal is to get the trail reopened, but we have to wait for this timber sale. And then after that, I feel like we'll have to kind of protect what we have for skid trails leading off that main run, so we don't have an extension of the unauthorized use all over the place. But I feel like as long as we can address that ahead of, you know, it turning into a problem, that's our ultimate goal. The riding opportunity and the connections, you know, over to Reedsboro, we also want to start working with Jackpine Pirates over there. So we'd like to connect all 3 towns. That's the ultimate goal. That was in the South Route 9 Integrated Resource Project. We just didn't have the resources to do it on the same timeline that was like announced.
Right, and then permissions and stuff, getting permissions.
Exactly.
We're getting closer every year. We're gonna put a little bit more money into the last leg of Stagecoach and Corridor 9. We've been working with VASA the last couple summers on it. So from like the Stamford Stream to the Sucker Pond Elbow, that'll be a section we'll be working on. And then after that, we'll wait for the timber sale and hopefully start working our way south.
So the timber sale is whereabouts in that area now?
It's the meadow sale, right? It's drawn here.
It's just the area now, we haven't been up there really to do any, you know, boundary work, you know.
Yeah.
Cutting units.
On the left, yeah.
So this, you know, here's Lake Hancock, Sucker Pond. That's the Sucker Pond Trail. So it runs right
Basically,
through
we're
it.
going from the Appalachian Trail over to the pond.
So it's a pretty big section in there. And if that is used, you know, for hauling and timber, that's gonna get the trail into a better condition than it is right now, for sure. And then, I don't know, if you've been out there, there is that relocation just above the power line. We have to get around that, but during winter operations, you know, that'll be frozen over.
Yeah, I go through here with the snow.
Yeah, so it's not really, you know, that trail's been open all winter for snowmobiles, so we still have it open for motorized use. We just have to get it a little closer to our standards for safety. I unfortunately struggle to get in there just on our Polaris UTV. I can make it on like a regular 4-wheeler, but we have to be able to access it on our own for maintenance and safety. If there was ever a search and rescue, we don't even have the equipment to get in there ourselves with a, you know, with gear. So that's kind of the minimum level we'll be looking for.
Thank you, Steve.
One question for you. There was talk years ago about relocating some of the ATV trail from Dutch Hill to Daubney Road. Is that still in the works?
I mean, there's Legal Trail 1 running right across Dutch Hill.
Right, but there was some problems with some of the landowners there. And I know you had people out here working on a relocation route. I was just curious if that was something that was
So I know VASA had done some work on that. We're waiting for a trail proposal from Reedsboro and the club over there. And then we're gonna, so there's basically at least 4 sections in the Reedsboro town ordinance that mention ATV use on the forest. So we're gonna see if that lines up with our priorities. But we weren't really part of that relocation. I think that was some local work going on.
Well, thanks for your time.
Deb, I think, I was waiting for you to raise your hand. I thought you had a question.
Regarding this may or may not have anything to do with you, it's more of the lawyers, but, when it was money, probably a week and a half ago or so, the roads were posted. We had, they were offloading a lot of their equipment, not onto trailers, but they were literally driving down Mill Road with their massive excavators. You could barely get by. So when they would pull over to let a car go by, it would just push all the gravel into our ditches. So I'm wondering, who is responsible for that? Are there funds set aside for reclaiming our ditches and rebuilding our roads? Because these weren't just little excavators.
Yeah, no, they're huge.
And going over our bridges, which they aren't rated for.
You know, they don't have that axle span. They just drive over the bridges, which are what? 24,000 pounds?
24 ton, oh, yeah,
And
yeah, I
you
know
know
what you're
these
talking
things are probably 10 times that.
about. And this is not like, I'm not trying to be dismissive when I say this, but that's beyond our jurisdiction.
Right, that's what I'm asking. Who would we reclaim any funds for?
That would be the logger. They're the ones that did the damage. If they, like, if they were on like one of our roads, we would go after them for like crushed culverts and things like that. And it sounds horrible when I say it, but it's like, it's not meant to be that way. It's like, well, once it hits town roads, our jurisdiction ends. I mean, we try to work with them and say, hey, you shouldn't be doing that right now, but we can't stop them. Once they're on, town land, we have no jurisdiction. But if they've done some damage, I mean, hopefully someone has documented it, and then, they can go and say, hey, you guys have done.
Pictures, it's like driving on a
Yeah.
cattle car going
So they came off like the Roaring Brook Road and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So they went over 3 bridges. 2 excavators that I saw.
The bridge is on Mill Road, you mean?
Mill.
Yeah.
And do we have, maybe we can provide, or do you have them?
Canterbury lumber or Allard lumber, I think would be.
It wasn't, there was a guy last night that I talked to, and it wasn't his company. It was someone who had vacated last week.
No, I'll talk to my sales administrator, his name is Bill Garrison, to see, when people have left and, and see what we can do on our end, just to like identify who it was.
Okay.
Again, I don't mean it to be, it sounds horrible when I say it's not our jurisdiction, it's not we just don't have that.
Yeah, it's not your jurisdiction, but you gave the sales.
No, that's what I mean,
Some of
that's,
them,
that's the thing, is like, once, like even liability, it's like, I mean, just like, once it hits a town road, it's like, for us, we have no, jurisdiction on any of that, and it's not a cop-out, it's just, that's just, how it is for us, I wish it was different, but I'm hoping that they would be working with, the town, because again, if the road's posted, they have to, that's a lot of big machinery that'll be going on that road.
And I was told last night that even posting a road, you don't have to abide by it.
I don't know, I mean, again, if they do some damage,
That's what the loggers said.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I've never heard that before. Well, I'm from a small town.
They allow
Right,
it.
close
Okay.
There's no other,
And I'm sorry, I don't
if
have.
there's
a
no
better
other
answer for you.
questions, are you all set with?
Yeah, thank you for
This
all
is
this
great.
time, was more than
This is great, thank you.
but, we'll get her information before we.
Yep.
And here's just the copy of it's a little outdated, but
I'm
the
gonna
5-year
talk to my
timber
cards
plan.
on the table.
And this is you may have received it, but it was just like our 2026
So I wish we had better.
like town report letter. Usually it's a lot longer, but it was just a 2-page.
All right, awesome.
The shutdown that lasted like 45 days, we just.
I'll make sure Lori gets a copy of it.
Yeah, it's just for your records, it's not like stamped or.
We'll leave it wrap up.
But yeah. But thanks for the time.
Thank you for all showing up.
Stacy, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Been what, 6 years?
Take
Any
care,
other
thank
hearing
you.
of visitors? Okay, is there any other hearing of visitors before we move on?
Seems like it.
Dan? Dan Popman?
Yeah, I'll look it up there, because it said that they're coming this way. And then,
It does, yeah. I mean, it's like I said, we usually go call.
Where's your hammer?
It's in the drawer.
Hang it out in the hallway.
Can we continue on with the meeting? Dan?
Yeah.
Something. Go ahead.
Say something real loud.
All right,
There you go.
so. Just with everything that's going on
globally right now. I wanted to bring some things to your attention. I checked with Laurie before the meeting. Pretty much, I don't know how much of this I want to cover because it's not very good news, but pretty much everything on this list, over the years, I've given letters and information about how to deal with it. Okay, the first letter I sent out, well, let me start. Okay, so with the Strait of Hormuz closed, a third of the world's nitrogen has been shut down to grow food. When Russia invaded Ukraine, a third of the world's potash for growing was shut down. My diesel fuel's already gone up $1. It's going to start impacting A to Z. People are talking it's going to go up to $200 a barrel. That's going to completely destroy the economy in this nation. Okay? Then you have the food. Farmers use a lot of diesel. Trucks move the goods. So, number one and number two kind of go together. Economy, food. Number three is frightening, but I know what's going on. I know they're planning another big pandemic. Okay? You find letters that I gave to the town with COVID, what you can do to build your immune system. Laurie's got copies of everything. The first letter I ever sent out, because, I mean, we are now in World War III, whether you want to admit it or not. China and Russia are both supplying Iran with satellite and targeting info. It's just a matter of time before the first nuke goes up over there. That'll be a warning for you over here. I don't expect anything here except maybe a dirty bomb, which isn't going to affect us. The first letter I sent to the townspeople was how to survive fallout from a nuclear bomb. Okay? The last one, number 5, and this really affects the select board. I know we're going to see civil unrest, and it's probably going to get real bad. Part of the reason I put on the resiliency fair is twofold: to give people skills, become self-sufficient with food and animals. The other was to build a bridge between the liberals and conservatives in town, which our country is pretty divided. It worked pretty good, okay? I know I got a lot of conservatives in town upset with me, hanging out with liberals, and they're like, "Dan, they're gonna brainwash you." And I'm like, no, we can agree on certain things. I can't control anything on this list except what goes on in Stamford in my little sphere, okay? I would hate to see Stamford fall into the number 5, civil unrest. And that's where a strong select board, right? 4th Amendment. I know you don't take an oath to the federal government, but in the state government you take an oath to. There's got to be one in there that's similar to the 4th.
We take an oath to the federal, to the Constitution.
The federal?
Yeah. Both.
I thought.
State and federal.
Anyway, the 4th, if you stand on that hard in town, they'll keep one faction from taking people out and hanging them in a tree. Right? 4th Amendment is what protects your right to a trial by jury, speedy trial. So that's pretty much it. I want to make sure everybody remembered and knows that Laurie's got copies of all that stuff. Okay. Oh, and the big one, with this coming pandemic, the last one, and it's on one of the sheets that Laurie has. If you got the vaccination from the last one, it is weakening your immune system, but there's a company, wellness company, that came out and they have a natural detox to get that out of your system. It's a spike protein I went on about when I did my big presentation, but that will get that out of your system. Cause like this next one isn't gonna be like COVID, this next one I expect to kill, 30-40% of the population. So you want your immune system boosted as high as you can. That's all.
Thank you, Dan. Okay. Any other
Anyone
hearing
ask
of
anything
visitors?
or no?
When is the
I'll go.
resiliency fair?
Wait a minute, there's a question, wait a minute. What did you have?
I just asked when the resiliency fair is.
We've had two, we don't have one planned for this spring. Yeah.
Okay.
Dave, what, do you have a question?
No, I don't. I have a comment I'll make after.
Okay. If there's no other hearing of visitors, we'll go to reading and approval of records.
Dave,
Oh,
Dave
I
does.
I thought you were,
No, Dave.
okay, Dave.
I thought you guys had something.
I am here for discussion on something on the planning board, but I am not too handy at reading of this. So I asked Irene if she would come in and read the letter. Now,
Names in this letter. I don't know.
do we just say so-and-so, or do we say their name?
What's the letter in regards to?
It's just,
Is this the same letter that you emailed out?
no, this is the one that it's all rich into that, but this is more straight up.
He can take a quick look at it, see what he thinks.
Well, since it's me.
I know, but-
Yeah.
So show me where the name, all right, so I see.
You know,
This is where you filled the names into the,
Yeah, so,
Okay, yeah.
so I wasn't sure
Yeah.
how you felt about reading that out in a public hearing.
Well,
Well, it was all public
you're
minutes.
presenting it, so.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the names being, but I do think that this is a bigger issue than just select board meeting. We need to do this in executive session, once we hear it.
So do you want me to read this then?
I don't have a problem with it, if the rest of the board.
I
Judd-
have no-
Judd, you-
I have
Judd,
no
you're in
idea
town,
what
you
it
have a
is.
problem with it?
Nope.
Okay. there we
Okay,
go.
all
That's-
right.
I have
that's
no
the way look
idea.
at it.
Because what was sent to us was unsigned, no names, that it was nothing. That's how I felt.
It's what I gave Lori, and
It was
she should
nothing.
have put her name on, saying that who's got it, right?
Well, no, that's not up to her. Well, just received, but it's like an unsigned letter and no names or anything, so.
In
This-
in the email, there was fill in name, fill in name, fill in name, it didn't have the names.
So if this is the same thing, then if Irene wants to read it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I see that this other document, but this is kind of a fill-in, I think, for this
Yeah,
document, so.
to the board, we have never stopped people from reading a letter, no matter what it says.
Okay, all right, well, let me go ahead and read it.
Yeah.
This is actually from Sheila.
It's my letter, but I just
She
not.
has difficulty reading stuff, so I'm reading it.
Okay.
So, it's to the town clerk, Lori, Select Board, Planning Commission, and to the State Ethics Commission of Vermont. I, Sheila, am writing to formally lodge a complaint regarding a conflict of interest involving Jed Gramlin, a member of the town of Stamford Select Board, Lisa Gramlin, clerk of the Planning Commission, and Jim Stimson, the newly appointed chair of the Planning Commission. The conflict. Jed Gramlin currently serves on the Select Board and appointed to be the Select Board's ethics liaison. However, he recently participated in an action by voting and approving for the removal of 2 members, reducing the Planning Commission 9-member board to 7 members, advocated for by his wife Lisa Gramlin and the newly appointed chair of the Planning Commission, Jim Stimson, during a Select Board meeting on March the 5th. Procedural issue. Because Jed Gramlin is the designated ethics liaison, there is no neutral internal path to resolve this grievance. His dual role as both the subject of the conflict and the person responsible for ethics oversight constitutes a fundamental breakdown of impartial governance. The restructuring of the Planning Commission includes Deborah Burchard, the zoning administrator, retaining her position as a planning board member who can vote. Though it is not against Vermont statute for holding these dual positions, it is highly recommended by the VLCT and the state of Vermont to veer away from allowing this, as it can become rife with perceived conflict of interest issues. Planning Commission members' responsibilities are to approve or remove ineffective bylaws, work on the town plan, along with site plan review for new and existing changes for the town governed by state statute. As a voting member of the Planning Commission and being the zoning administrator responsible for enforcing the bylaws can create the perceived atmosphere of conflict of interest, as the person holding both positions should not be advocating for any changes that must be enforced while holding the alternate position as zoning administrator. The way to protect from this perception is for the person holding dual positions to recuse himself from all discussion regarding changes to the bylaws that must be enforced. In the past, former zoning officers participated as ad hoc to the Planning Commission, providing a less controversial path. Ad hoc members do not vote, but are important for providing input with what is going on with bylaw enforcement, site plan reviews, participate listening to the proposed changes and giving input from the zoning administrator's perspective as to why the new or altered bylaw could help town stability through proper enforcement without the hint of a perceived conflict of interest by not being a voting member. Requested action. I request that Jed Gramlin recuse himself from all matters involving the Planning Commission. I request that Deborah Burchard consider that holding both positions can exacerbate the perceived conflict of interest, contributing to the lack of trust in town governance. I request that Jed Gramlin, Lisa Gramlin, Jim Stimson, and any select board member having ex-parte discussions involving changes to any of the boards outside of posted meetings cease and desist. I request that the select board appoint an independent third-party legal counsel or temporary liaison to investigate this matter as the current internal process is compromised. Sincerely, Sheila Lawrence, former Planning Commission member for 25 years, Town of Stamford.
So, none of us have a copy of that letter.
You need
You
a copy,
have the
I
other
think.
paper, that is what this is.
No, it's not the same thing. So the other paper that was submitted to us, my opinion is, and I don't know the board, it's unsigned and there's no names in there. You know, it says fill in the blank. So do you want to discard that first letter that you gave to Lori?
It says respected Sheila Lawrence down there on it.
On the letter that you submitted, that was submitted to us, this one.
And there's a second page that has it.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything in there. Insert wife's name and I'm just, maybe I'm picking too much, but it says insert wife's name. We kind of know what's going on. But if this letter replaces this one, then I'd say we ignore this one and go along
Use
with
that
that.
one. Lori's making copies for all.
Okay. Because I don't want to ignore this, but it's
What was that
vague.
term that you used, or actually Sheila wrote the letter, so I'll ask her, what was the term that you used for a person that is still invited to the meetings but doesn't have voting? What's that term?
What I'm thinking is like what Ron Clark.
But there was, in the letter,
Yeah,
there's a term, what's it
I
called?
don't know if she's got something.
It's called ad hoc in the letter.
Ad hoc.
Oh, that's what it is.
It's an ex officio.
Correct.
So it was
Ex officio.
ad hoc, is that how you said it?
Yeah, ADHOC.
It's simple for me.
Well, that's why I'm asking you, you wrote the
Right.
letter, so I wanna know what you meant by that.
I have to. read
Cause I don't
it
know what
and get
it,
back
I've
to
never
the
heard of
side where I
that
have it.
term, ad hoc.
Basically,
Ad hoc.
if
It's
you
like a
are,
one-off.
It's what?
It's a one-off, an ad hoc.
but if you're,
I've never heard. of it.
you place the board, okay, and you come in, you're the AL officer, all right? You know some things that should be changed and everything, but when you get onto the board, that leads you out where you can vote as well.
Mhm.
Which shouldn't be, okay? That's the feeling I have.
Right,
Okay.
right.
That you
Okay.
should be able to offer your opinion, but
Yeah.
not.
No, I just didn't know what that term meant.
I just
I,
wanted to give, that's why I had her read it, so I can get it in the noggin.
Okay. Bill?
Is the first unsigned letter what you were referring to in your executive meeting 2 weeks ago?
No.
That's
this came after.
Yes.
Is that public letter, public record?
This one,
No, from 2 weeks ago.
there was no letter. I'd have to go back.
Yeah, this wasn't anything to do with this.
No, that's just.
The executive session last meeting had nothing to do with it.
Right, we addressed the letter
That was about personnel with,
I'll be talking about
Oh,
it.
finances. It was nothing to do with this situation.
This is two things.
I didn't,
The other, last meeting, it was a different topic,
I'll be
and I
speaking
believe
about
we
that,
addressed that.
But I wanna speak.
okay,
Jim?
Yes, ma'am. I want to set the record straight. I am not the chairman of the planning commission, nor did I want to be. I stayed right where I'm at. I'm the vice chair, period. Stephanie is the chair.
Okay.
So, falls on that information.
Have you reorganized your planning
We
commission?
did everything above board. We did everything that the record, I mean,
Who is the new chair?
Stephanie
Okay.
Sheldon, Dr. Sheldon.
Chair,
So, and
vice.
that I totally disagree with. Rebuke that.
So the letter says you're chair?
Jim,
Yeah.
okay.
And so, and the other fact that I had communications with these other people and discussion as who's gonna do what
I need to-
after meeting, no, that's something that you
That's
did,
okay.
not me. I never did that. I've never spoke to any member of that committee or of our planning commission requesting to be the chair or the vice chair or anything else, period. Never did. That's the whole complaint from the old board.
Yeah, as a,
But
This
I just,
board
I just wanted to set the record straight as to the untruth. Now, on another note, I do agree with Sheila about the fact with the AO. It's been that way. When I was the AO, I did not sit on the planning court committee, but I did not miss a planning committee meeting. I sat right out here, and it was basically, you know, I didn't want to be on the planning commission, nor was I ever asked to be. And at that point,
It's not signed.
it was explained to me that the AO could not be on the planning commission because of the conflict of interest. Now, if we all can read the ethics law, and we all have, I know we have, the ethics law is not, if it's not written as a law, but it's perceived as a violation, is the law itself. So I agree with her on that part, all right? So that's just an argument that I have on my own, and other people have on their own. The select board has decided that that was okay, or maybe they didn't decide at all, maybe that's just what happened. But, anyways,
So, look, can I ask you a question?
yes.
So if the zoning administrator is in conflict with sit on the planning board, wouldn't a member of the ZBA be in conflict with sit on the planning board?
No, there's specific law, the law is read, and there's not a number, but it does,
I can recite that.
2 to 3, it said, no, you know, there wasn't a large number, they said.
They
Well, it
encourage
could
it.
be a perceived conflict.
They discourage more than,
Why would it not be a perceived conflict if
They
someone
encourage
perceives it
it.
as a conflict?
because they do
They
two
encourage
different
it.
things.
State statute says that anybody on the ZBA or the planning commission, they generally vote for the planning.
So you're
commission.
essentially
Let me
doing-
finish.
Wait,
you jumped it in.
let one talk, let one talk,
I thought you were talking.
one talk.
Go
Well,
ahead.
essentially the AO is enforcing the laws that are written by the planning board, right? ZBA is doing the exact same thing.
so this is
We're
what
doing the exact same thing.
Sure.
They're enforcing the laws.
I actually been trying to talk, and only Jim is the one that was ahead of me.
I got.
That's okay.
I got. So,
Go ahead.
anyways, so I just want to make sure that everybody understands the fact that the planning commission, I'm the vice chair. Stephanie Shelburne is the chairperson. What Jed has anything to do with is that I have no clue where that came from or why it ever came up. We're just all in this together. We take care of each other in the whole town, okay? It's not just a competition to see how many boards we can be on and not have anything, you know, substance to say at a meeting other than wondering what we did last week. All right, so that's the whole issue with that. I'm just saying, I agree with her on some of the things that they wrote, but I disagree on the fact that she really doesn't know what she's talking about. Again, this is the major problem. I'm not the chair.
So before we call on David, I agree with you, Kurt, on there's so many perceived things in this town. So So I read that, which ones you can sit on, which ones you can't sit on. Very, very few can you not sit on. Most of them you can have joint board memberships. And the reason is, we don't get too many people that wanna do it. This town's fortunate, I've said that many times, we get people actually running against each other. We have competition when it comes to elections. That being said, the word perceived and the word ethics changes. If I was to ask her a question and go all the way down to ask him, your ethics may be different. Your perceptions are different. That's why, and the only part of this letter I would like to address is if Jed is the ethics liaison and there's a complaint about his family, one of his family members, then I could see that becoming an issue. So we would need, because I know when Doug was on, we had more than one, correct? That's how you got it.
Right.
So we should look at that as a board. Other than that, if I'm a member of a board and one of my families are a member of a board, there's no, that's not a conflict in my opinion. And that's what it is. Every one of these things are opinions. And that's where we gotta decide what's opinion and what's law.
I mean, his
That's what we
vote,
need to
his
find
vote
out.
was inconsequential. It was a 5-0 vote.
Well, I know,
So even if Jed's eliminated, it's still 4-0.
Right.
but we have had members in this town on 3 and 4 boards.
I need to ask Deb, do we know it's illegal to have the AO be on a planning commission?
No, it's
It's
not,
legal.
it's not a violation.
It's not, do we know that?
It's
Is it, where does it say it?
It's in
It's
the
in-
book.
it's in the
It's
statute.
It's legal.
I could have sat on there as a
It's legal.
select, I could have sat on there as a select board member. I chose not to
Right,
because of this whole perceived
Yeah,
conflict.
Right.
it's really up to the board.
That's why I
If
didn't
you
do it.
want
You know, there's a
me to
perception
step
that
down, you
people
just have to
may
tell
not
me.
agree with, so I just resigned.
Then that was your choice.
That was
No
my
one told you
choice.
to do
That
it.
was, I just did it because I knew all this was coming.
And when I became a selectman, and no offense to you at all, but you were on 3 boards. You were on a selectman, you were a selectman when I came on. You were on the planning committee, and you were on the zoning committee, and actually you were on the cemetery, committee or whatever that's called.
cemetery.
Conservation, yeah. So you were on a lot of boards. That's just the
But
way.
you never heard me bring one piece in.
Well, I don't know. I can't remember everything that you
We
did,
always
but
have-
that's not the point. My point is many people sit on different boards. That's all I'm saying. I'm not just,
I'm
you
not
know.
the only one.
Yeah, oh no, of course. I mean, Danny did, David did. I know. Yeah, I get it.
Kurt did.
Dave,
Just to clear up what's going on here, there's no, it is not illegal for the zoning officer to be on the planning commission. In fact, when I was part of Planning Dad, I said at the time, and to Jim, when I appointed Jim, that even though it's not illegal, because you're developing new laws and then you have to adjudicate them, you're right for conflict of interest. I'd like to go right into my thing now.
are we
Oh,
done,
oh, I have
are we
one-
done with this topic?
No, I got one more comment for Kurt, because it's important.
On this topic,
Yes.
okay.
To remove a position, you have to have a unanimous decision. So Jed can't vote because his wife is on the, but let me finish.
Okay, but that's
Let me
incorrect.
finish. I know it was somebody who had left, Peter Gramlin, and Jim took his position, so that left the position open. And I don't know how, watching the video, that you guys came up with it. Sheila should be off.
So to remove a member of a board in the middle of their term, you need a unanimous decision. But to change the structure of the board, you do not. So that's what we did. We changed the structure of the board. We went from 9 to 7, no matter who it was.
So he didn't have to vote. He probably shouldn't have voted then.
Well, that was up to
That
him.
would, like
Nobody
Kurt
called
said,
him
it
out.
was
How
for,
would you
Because
resolve an
somebody
issue
says it's
if,
a conflict.
if it's 4-0, that's unanimous, isn't it?
No,
It's gotta be,
He has to
it's gotta be
it's
of the
gotta be
board.
5-5.
Then how would you even proceed if he
You
can't?
wouldn't.
You can't, right,
You
you
can't.
can't. On that particular
I'm
thing,
not-
Yeah.
Are we ready to go
I'm
on to
still
the next one?
confused by it. That seems
That's
weird.
all I.
but what I would like to do as a board, I'd like to discuss this for decision-making, of the ethics part of it in executive session, because I think we need to adjust some things before we go on, because there are some things that, just like Jim said, there are some things I agree with, some things I disagree with, some things I feel are in error. In order to do that, I don't think we have 15 minutes. It's gonna take a lot longer than 15 minutes, and I think it should be among the board members at that moment.
I would like a little more time to read the letter. This is the first I've heard of it, because it's different than what we received. So do we want to save that for executive session tonight?
Well, I would like to at least bring it up. Maybe we'll have
Okay.
to discuss it a little bit more. And
Letter.
I do feel we need to address we can do that whenever. You can put it on the next meeting with the ethics liaison and ethics board, whatever committee, whatever you want to call it. We had multiple people on that. This came up before with Doug. We had multiple people on it for that reason, to make sure that there's no perceived conflicts. So we should look at that.
Okay. Dave?
I received a letter today from the select board,
Yes.
basically saying that my complaint was discussed in executive session and resolved. And I want to bring up two things about that. An open meeting violation cannot be discussed in executive session. It has to be, the letter should have been read, because the letter I sent you said to be read. And you should have adjudicated that in the open. So in itself, that's another violation on top of the violation of the open meeting law.
What's this? Excuse me. Oh, thank you.
So, and essentially, what happened.
What's this to say? What you just gave us?
What you
I'm
said,
sorry. What's that?
What you guys sent to me,
Oh, okay.
you can look at it.
What'd you say, John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
So, there's two violations going on. I was not allowed to speak during the meeting, and then the thing, it was just my wife and I there. They had a visitor. They were talking about how to reorganize the ZBA to a EBR. And after he was done, I wanted to say something first. They wouldn't let me. They said, no, save it for after. And all I have to do is listen to the tape. It's all there. Bottom line is, when I said, I raised my hand like this, 15 minutes, and anybody have a question? And somebody said, Dave Salway has one. Well, I'm not wanting to speak. And I said, excuse me, I had one question to ask this person from the ZBA regarding the ZBA versus the PBR. I just wanted to know what the benefits were. I'm not for it or against it. I just wanted, he's there, that's the time to ask the guy the question. So I was starting to get thrown out, hollered at, embarrassed me and my wife, terribly so. And that's why, for the first time in my life in 50 years in this town, I wrote a letter saying, I've had enough. I'm not taking it anymore. I was hoping that you would bring that up in a public meeting. It wasn't on the notes that your wife wrote. And the only way you could find it is on the tape to listen to it. Plus, we were here. That whole thing should have been discussed in an open meeting, not executive session. Positioned yourself for another violation. So where I stand now, it was 14 days long before I got this letter. So that's a denial. My only recourse from you, that's a denial. My only recourse now is either take it up to the Attorney General or the Superior Court over in Bennington. In my letter, do you have the letter, Nancy?
I did. I probably left it. Well, it was an email.
It was email signed that it was a letter.
I did leave it home, and I don't have a copy of
But
it
the
here.
bottom line simply is I asked for, what do you want done? And on the bottom, I put on it, I just want Peter to allow me to have a say, like everybody else in town, and not be treated. Jim, you were there. I asked for the board to vote, and what did you guys do? Because they had a right to vote, override Peter. to let me say something. What'd you do, Jim?
Move on.
Yeah, you ignored me. You
I
ignored me.
wasn't the chair.
I'm talking about the
No,
board.
you're bringing my name up,
Well,
you're
you were
accusing me
one
of
of-
something.
No, you were one of them. Everybody on the board ignored it.
So,
Right or wrong?
so listen, guys, I'm not the chair of this board either,
Well, let me tell you
but
where I stand.
let's,
Let me tell you
Go
where I
ahead.
stand with this. To drag the town through this is, open meeting violations are not good, okay? It could get you in a lot of trouble, you already violated it by not going public with it. And the fact what Peter did is unpaid.
Okay,
I'm not here to, create issues. I simply said in that letter, treat me with a little bit of respect. And I'll tell you what, we always have respect in this town. I can give you the date where it stopped. So that's what I have to say about this. What do you want me to do? I'll leave it to you.
well, I believe what the letter said is to address and make the boards aware of the open meeting law.
That doesn't address it.
So we sent a letter to the chairmen of the board
I know.
to read this and make them.
He never addressed the violation. What you did
Well,
is
he's gone.
publicly say, I told him I wanted Peter Greenbush to publicly say, hey, I was out of line, I shouldn't have done it. That would have been easy.
Well, I don't think it's gonna happen because he resigned.
Yeah, why? I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
but when you say we didn't address it,
Letter?
I'm not sure if the violation, the second violation is what you're talking about is or not. I'll look it up. That's okay, I'll look it
give
up.
it to you.
I can look it up, I'm fine.
No, you don't have to, I got it right here.
Well,
Why
well,
waste the time?
You know, Dave, it wouldn't be the first time someone presented me with a law that I went and looked at and was changed, so I always wanna make sure I look it up to today's laws.
Whenever that
But
happens with me after 50 years, you let me know.
I will, okay, so
I don't
I'm
change
just,
anything.
right now, I'm just saying I'll look it up. But nevertheless, during that executive session, we did address it, we did come out into the public and said we were gonna let all board members be aware of it, and we were going to tell the board send a letter to board members to be aware of
I saw
these
that.
open meeting laws,
I saw,
to, you know, kind of pay attention, because we're all volunteers pretty much, you
Yeah.
will agree with that.
I
$25 a
saw
year
it,
for you
but
guys, you know, I get
addressed
it, you know.
it. No more time in here than me.
So when you guys are volunteers, I understand, you know, we make mistakes, I get it, you know, so,
And I'm not
I-
trying to.
nope, I understand
I
that.
think I've been real, what I could have done is
You know,
not said anything.
Dave, I'm being really nice too. Every time I talk, you keep talking, so I'm being very nice. Give me a break, all right, man? I'm just saying.
I'll
You know?
look forward, I won't move my head.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel too, you know, and when I
I'm
do, you
listening
know,
to you.
well, you are now, but you weren't, okay? So, I mean, I'm
Sorry,
being, okay.
I apologize.
You know, you've done it, you've run a meeting
Yeah.
before, you know, it's tough to keep your head going when someone keeps going.
Yeah, I understand.
So, again, I have all the respect in the world for all you board members, every single one of you. I told you guys this a million times. And I thought we did address it. If we did make a violation when it comes to this board, because it's not really a second violation of this board, it's the first violation of this board, right? The open
No, I
meeting law
said
was the
second.
planning board, and this board, if we did make a violation in the executive, by going to executive session,
I said.
I apologize for that, and we will try not to do that again. So there's your public apology from this board.
Thank you. Well, I just said that by what you did created another violation.
But,
Not that you,
yeah, okay.
you didn't tell me to get out of the meeting.
No, I don't think we ever have.
Done.
You know, there's been worse guys, than, matter of fact, worse than. We've never thrown anybody out of these meetings. So.
Oh, you know, worst thing I ever had was keep my head still.
I'm a big believer in the Fifth Amendment,
Well, thank
of
you.
being, everybody being able to talk. So,
If
and,
you
you
want
know, we
to-
let people go more than 5 minutes every single Thursday that we have these meetings. And
You can look up the
I have no
statute, but I
problem.
have it here, and it's just a club of the LCP, trust me. So, but my point is, I'm not interested in dragging this.
You can give me the statute, the law that you're talking about, and I'll write it down so I can look it up. How's
Hold on a
that?
second, I'm trying to find it here.
That'll get me a start at
Yeah,
least.
I think I have.
But I already apologized for that.
No, thank you. I mean, to me, it can be rectified by reading what happened in the public and to come up with whatever retribution it is. Peter left and there's
Yeah.
no retribution?
Yeah.
That's right?
He's not on
Okay.
there, yeah.
Well, so do you have the letter? Maybe you can read the letter tonight.
I have a question. Dave, can I speak with Dave, or do I have to address you?
Just go ahead, 'cause
Yeah, Dave, can I ask you what, the violation was?
Peter not letting you speak,
Right.
that was
Which
the violation.
Which I mean, I'll go on record, I think it was the forum for him to be able to speak at that time. But I don't think it was a violation. I think, isn't it the chair's prerogative to only have people speak during hearing of visitors?
It is.
that's what I was gonna
It
say.
That's my only question, I'm not.
And
I
when
don't
I
know.
went to speak during the hearing of visitors, listen to the tape, what was said.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, you don't remember that part?
I.
Jim said, let's save it till after the thing, which is fine. There's nothing wrong
That's
with
all I
that.
had.
So I didn't say anything. But then when I went to speak, he kicked me
I get
out.
some boards,
Well,
I've
later
looked,
on.
Dave, I looked into this. Some boards allow hearing of visitors at the beginning and no other comments through the whole meeting.
Yep. Had no
But it
problem with
depends
that.
on the board, but like Mike
Had
has
no
said,
problem with
we just let people give us their opinion during the meeting and.
So again, I don't wanna go too
Wait,
deep
Diane.
into it, but
Wait,
I really believe that again, if they had hearing of visitors and they were asked to wait until afterwards, that's another whole story. If they allowed other people to talk and only Dave not to talk, that's another story.
That's what
So,
happened.
I mean, there's a lot to this, and I think we can look at it
I
more.
brought that
But
up.
I would like to,
Listen,
as far as I'm concerned, it's actually pretty simple. Dave said he's asking for us to address it. We're addressing it. I don't think we need to go too much more on this. Peter's not on the board anymore, so we can't really ask him to do anything. This board, at least I did, I don't know if the rest of the board agrees with me, but if we did have a violation, we apologize. We'll try to do better at that because we do make mistakes. If you would like that letter read and the rest of this board doesn't have a problem with that, I wouldn't have a problem with that either.
I think
Yes.
for transparency and to stop what Dan said earlier, and I agree with him, the friction in this town, doing that goes a long way in that.
Sure.
It's just not being so.
Do you have a copy of that
Sure.
letter?
Other people.
Okay.
I mean, I have been here a long
Yep.
time.
Okay.
Lisa?
I mean, not to create more friction, but it is good that we record meetings, because I also write my minutes that you mentioned, I didn't mention that, and if you read my minutes also, there was a hearing of visitors, and neither Saldo wanted to raise their hand or to speak at all during the hearing of visitors.
That's not true.
I'm speaking. And so then we moved on,
It's not true.
and our speaker stood, and then David wanted to question the speaker, but it is the prerogative of the chair to then let the audience or observers then ask questions of our speaker.
Right, like we did tonight with the
Yes.
national.
He just chose not to, and the hearing of visitors was an open time to speak.
Well, I did get to talk to the individual
Okay.
from
Yeah.
DCRC.
I'd like to-
Speech.
I would like to actually read the letter, push forward, and
Yeah, just so.
move forward on this in,
Clear
as a
up
town
what's
as a town issue, move forward, and hope that the,
Gotta stop.
in the hope, well, that's what I was gonna say, Dave, is I hope that the new chairman of any board, when we just restructure them all, will take this matter and start watching it a little bit better and make sure there's no violation.
I have no problem.
Now, oh, Diane had a question. That's right.
The only problem that was the man was leaving, and that was the only time that you had available to ask the question. And he shut him down and the man left.
That's the way it should be
that-
done too.
And,
Uncalled for.
and he was rude, he was very rude.
Okay.
Anybody
The,
gonna support me on that, or is it the meeting?
I want to go back to Sheila's letter too. I'm
There
jumping
you
back and
go.
forth.
Well, it's,
But I wanna go back and-
That type of attitude, that's why I may take it to them.
the bottom line is,
Dave.
that Peter's,
Wait a
the
minute.
bottom line is Peter's gone, so we can't do much with him now. There's a new chairman, hopefully this doesn't happen, and we move forward as a town and get things done. Because I
took it for 5 years.
So could we
Okay. Okay.
wait just a minute then till Lori gets the letter, and I won't ask any other questions on any other topic. I'll wait till Lori gets the letter.
Okay. I was looking at the bylaw as usual, I I'll
You didn't
send
find it?
yeah.
That's all right, just email it to me, okay? You can email it to me
Yeah.
personally,
Well,
I
she
just
sent me
want,
a letter,
there's nothing to do with it.
I did come across something about the planning commission, and they did talk about open meeting violations. You meant, excuse me, a chairperson resigned due to open meeting violations. If the decision to reduce the board from 9 to 7 was discussed in private gatherings between any board members, this would be considered a violation, DSA 310-3. Any person filed a written notice of violation from the select board, the board has a timeframe to admit the violation, cure it, which might involve voiding the vote that reduced the board. So, she's definitely within her rights. I mean, that's her perception, it's up to you with what you wanna do with it.
So, that part of it, and again, I
That's
I don't even,
Sheila's
you know what, yeah, I don't even wanna move forward on that, that's good. I think that I would like to discuss the ethics part of it in perception a little bit later.
But for now,
Couple
any
pages,
ethical-
Kurt, and then.
Any ethical situation has to be done public, you can't discuss it.
We could discuss our structure.
You can discuss.
How we're gonna
talking about
structure
an
things.
open meeting
This is
We could just
Sheila's stuff here.
discuss our structure in executive session.
I don't want you to lose your stuff. That's Sheila's stuff. Thank you.
Oh, and it says one last thing, that the fact that the board size has changed multiple times in the last 6 years, and it has, it's changed the planning 5 times. We brought people in, brought people out, tried to remove people. I mean, this may be the best board you ever had, Jim, but it's the most weird thing I've ever seen of trying to manipulate who's gonna be on the board or not. That's all I have to say.
There's several places that they have to sign. I don't know if they got everything or not, but. Thank you.
So, since how I was named in that, I'd like to come to executive session as well.
On what?
Here's
On the one with Sheila?
accusations.
Okay, we can hear your part of it and then you have to leave after that.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna read
Here are your
Dave's
evidence.
letter in
I
open
think that has to
meeting.
be done. Alright.
Dear Lori, I'm
It's just
asking
evidence gathering.
letter to be given to you, select board, and the chair of the planning commission, Peter Greenbush. I am including the posting of the meeting where public discussion is allowed, but was not given the opportunity, but resulted in being told by Mr. Greenbush I would be ejected if I kept pursuing the right to speak so plainly written on the agenda. Open meeting violation during planning board meeting on Monday, February 16th, 2026, between 6:15 and 6:30 by Chairman Peter Greenbush, Chair of the Planning Commission, not allowing public comment or ask a question regarding the visit and explanation of how to change the ZBA to a DRB by a member of the BCRC. Diane Saldo and I were only members of the public present. A full board of the Planning Commission was present along with zoning officer Deborah Burchard. I was told to give a call outside the meeting to the BCRC member and to put my questions and address them to Peter Greenbush. I only had one question. As a citizen, I wanted to ask what was the advantage from moving to another body than the present ZBA to a DRB after the gentleman from BCRC was finished, as I have no opinion either way, but I wanted to understand why the Planning Commission was investigating this without letting the ZBA be part of the process. I was told to shut up or I was going to be thrown out of the meeting. This was embarrassing to both my wife and I to be treated in this manner. I'm asking the select board to conduct an investigation, listening to the recorded tape and all participants present. I would also ask the town clerk to read my complaint during the upcoming select board meeting on Thursday, February 19th, and to enter the letter as read in the minutes of the meeting. I am giving fair notice of the law for this to be reviewed. This continual harassment through false accusation on my character needs to be addressed. It is beyond the point of ridiculous that I continue to be attacked by Peter Greenbush and others through false accusations when the facts of what is going on has been recorded. Every man has his limits, and unfortunately many of us do not have the age or vigor to fend off these vicious attacks. The double standards that is going on with several of these boards needs to be addressed. Thank you for your consideration, David Salvo.
Thank you.
And then there's some law here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we read the notice.
I'm good.
You have to sign.
Oh, in back.
We did address
Pages.
this in executive session. We came out of executive session and I think we also read Peter Greenbush's letter, his resignation letter during the open meeting.
Never heard.
Well, he said he resigned.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he resigned during open meeting. But I think you had asked, double standards going on. I thought you would ask to make the boards aware of the, maybe it's this one.
That the,
I am entitled only to participate as always in respect for them.
I think we made the decision.
I think that was our decision.
Yeah, it was our decision to, notify all the boards.
Yeah,
but that's.
because you didn't ask for anything else,
Oh, I,
just to be made aware.
didn't I say to Peter, I asked for an apology?
Look on the last page.
I made it as simple as possible. It's on Peter, I just don't wanna go to meetings. getting
Only that I
tackled.
can participate and have this done respectfully and without the malice I continue to receive from many of the planning commission members. Well, I'll read this. This was Wednesday, February 25th. This is the second one,
Second email.
second email.
No, I had to redo them because I put Peter down as the chairman of the, select.
Did we have a meeting on February 19th? I'm not sure we did.
That was President's Day.
I think that was, our meeting.
That was his planning commission.
That was
I
the
know,
planning
I know,
commission.
but I don't think we had a quorum there, because I can't find the
Right here.
minutes of it.
Cancel regular town meeting.
We cancel
You
that.
cancel that meeting.
I just want to ask the select board, how many of you listened to that planning commission recording? Because that would just simplify this.
Yeah,
Right, and that's what
Did everyone listen?
we will, that's what I would like to discuss later.
I
is
mean, just
Maybe
listen to
we
the
should,
first
as a
sentence,
board,
like,
listen to
clarify
it.
something.
Could take
Okay.
some time,
Is it attached email?
so it's fresh while we listen to it, while we're discussing it.
I don't think he had to- I want you guys to do what you gotta do. Basically, I just.
Well, I thought, really,
I thought we addressed it by.
I'm saying, at this point, Dave, I think we did.
Yes.
Do you agree with that? Peter's not a
Here?
chair anymore. We
And
did
you
tell
read
the
it-
rest
yes,
of the
you did.
chair.
Read it.
We read it out.
We're good.
You know, we apologize
We're
for
good.
ours. Okay, that's what I, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
That's all.
Sheila, I was gonna ask you something, but, oh,
No,
I know.
sorry.
Okay, in your letter, I requested action. All, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 4 items you request. We may or may not, grant all these requests because we're a board and we have to go along with board decision and what the law is, so we'll address them and we'll figure out what we're doing.
I just love to say something.
Yes.
Back years ago, when David and I, Kurt, Danny, and I can't remember the guy over on the lane by Barlow.
Steve Benford.
Steve Bechtel.
Okay. When we were all on the board for planning, we were going through things and we found where BCAC, whatever you wanna call those people now. They were the ones that were coming down and saying that we had, 1, 2, and 3 that we could go through and put out for the rules and regulations and stuff. And we went through them and we found that that's where they were saying that they had the goal to do the government in the town. They didn't give the other 2 papers that said that it'd be like if you wanted to build something,
Yep,
you print it out, you hand it in.
Yep.
Go through the laws of what's in the town of Stamford, go in the laws that are working for the state.
Yep.
That's how we handle it.
Yep.
Because we felt that it was more, the person putting that in was more responsible and knew what they wanted, and we would understand it 100%
But
better.
he was setting the town up for failure. Basically, they were saying no building in the floodplain for any reason or no reason. There was 3 options. The third option is the town has discretion for their own means and can go in front of the
So that's
ZBA
when we took
to
that.
build in the floodplain by altering the floodplain.
So then I wanted to
Which the
say
state
is,
agrees with, by the way.
when we were in the meeting, when we were just the first ones out there and from that day on, I don't feel like I was part of the committee at all. And I know Dave didn't feel it either.
Well,
Because we were sitting right there and we had a certain person and his wife stood up, they were gonna hammer. They were really upset with some of the stuff and we had other ones. We ended up with almost 14 people for that planning board. And it was a whole bunch of stuff that went through, they changed and did this, did that. And you know what? From that day on, Dave and I have never had any say. We were asked, like the last meeting, Peter asked me, well, Sheila, what do you feel about having how far the land, the driveway and the house and garage would be from the main road? I felt that we had to wait and see what the person put down. They knew that we had from this time to this inches, okay? They put it in. Then when they give it to Deb to have her decide on it or whatever, she could look at it and on something that is a lot different than what we expected, that's when I would expect it to come out and go to like the ZBA, okay? We never get that. We don't get any of that. I don't get asked anything other than something, little thing.
you mean
Like
go
that.
into the after it's denied by Deb, it doesn't go to the ZBA?
It's supposed to, but as far as I always understood.
I don't think
Yeah,
that's the real issue.
but that's, I mean, that still happens if there's a problem, I don't,
Right, there is that
You could
and
appeal it.
I'm really not sure why we're in
Yeah,
the
I
different
was-
topic.
yeah. Well,
So-
Sheila had a comment
Yeah,
there.
it sounds like so many things have gone down in this town without proper permits. The state coming down, people being accused of expanding their rights when they didn't. And then the result is this. You knocked houses down with asbestos, nobody cared. No permits. You knocked the church out down with asbestos, nobody cared. Well, you know
Okay.
what? We have rules and regulations. That's to protect your children, my children, his children. And because it's a buddy thing, you bring Malachek on, you bring this one on, and then put up the board and push everybody out. You're trying to do the right thing. I've never refused a thing in this town. I've always figured out ways to work to help the people. But I'm not gonna stand for people doing this shit. I have enough.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We did
We're good.
Thanks.
We're good.
All right,
Thank you.
so we're gonna discuss this. And we'll let you know what's going on with it.
appreciate it.
Only vote positions, that's not a okay. Well, yeah, these 4 we'll
Any other
deal with in there.
visitors?
Okay. Road conditions, Dave.
No, hearing a meeting.
Oh, reading of, yes.
Yes. Come on, Nancy, give
Yes.
it. Take care.
I left here at 5 o'clock today. 5 o'clock. Okay.
Did it come
back
to you, Dave?
Reading and approval of records and orders of March 5th, and I thought we had another one to do too. Just March 5th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion.
No,
Didn't you have to amend
No.
something?
I have to amend something. When we came out of executive session last meeting, because we discussed the, set the salary
I'm
for
on camera.
training by the listers. We also agreed to appoint Deb Burchard to the zoning administrator position for 1 year, and it should be corrected 3 years, and that was, I just said 1 year, and it should be 3 years, because that's the term. And
Motion to the amended minutes.
Second.
Aye.
do we do them in the right order? Yeah. Thank you. Road conditions.
Well, we're still dealing with some winter road conditions, spring road conditions. I think our roads are in pretty good shape for this time of year. Yeah, there's some humps and bumps out there, but nothing's really blowing apart. We had some really warm weather. Back and cold, so such as life here in Stamford.
Yeah.
I have a question regarding the roads, cause we're doing the paving.
Yeah.
We're going to have the paving. Do you plan on doing any grading or anything like that based on the fact that they're gonna be paving?
Oh, yeah, I mean, we grade every single gravel road in the spring anyways.
So you're gonna still go ahead as normal and then
Yeah.
let them
Yeah,
do
could
their
be.
do
Right,
their
and
thing?
then I'll meet with them, and they'll come and they'll say, well, you think, like, in the whole contract, we're responsible for the fine grading, so, you know, they'll come in and tell me, this is what you need to do before we pave, so
Yeah.
it's the job, that they'll warranty the job, basically.
Okay.
So I guess I have a problem, and I need your okay, I guess. The state shed, which is leased by the fire department. The roof collapsed and we store our Kubota tractor in there.
Oh, I didn't even notice it.
Isn't that right next to your?
Yeah, I didn't notice it.
So, Paul, Keith here's been in contact with the state, I've been in contact with the state, he has some, you know, I guess paper trail on it. So they called me, I talked to Russell, and Paul has talked to me. They've used the green light, to get our tractor out. I'm gonna have to have like a log truck come or something to lift the roof off, cause it's on top of, the tractor at this point. If you don't want me to do that and you wanna try to hire somebody to,
So the state won't do it for you?
they're not doing it.
Okay.
The instructions, I do whatever I need to do to get it out, but don't leave a mess after.
But if they won't do it.
They're not gonna.
So maybe the thing is how, if you can lift it up, get your tractor out quick and drop it down.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
the
where it
door's
would
gonna
go
have
if
to
the
be
tractor was
ripped
there.
off.
Are we paying for?
No.
Okay, so it's kind of a,
Yeah,
you help me, I'll help you type thing.
yeah, I mean.
We have a lease, the fire department
Fire
has a
department
lease
does.
for $1 a year.
Oh, okay, so it's one of those things, thank you, let's not, okay. It, no damage to the tractor that you know of?
I think it's minimal at this point, but there probably is some damage. I have other items in there, cones, barricades, that type of stuff.
Are you asking us if it's okay if you get someone to do this?
Yeah.
Yes. Make a motion.
Has he got
Whatever you wanna
insurance?
Well, that's the other thing with this conflict. I mean, my family has the log trucks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I could try to get somebody else with a log truck.
They're not gonna charge you, they're just gonna do it for you?
I have no idea. I'm
Right,
sure
well,
they're gonna charge us.
You know,
Yeah. I'm not expecting it to take more than a couple hours.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know how much effort you want into going into, I just don't want, me personally hiring them might be a conflict, so.
I have no problem.
I think go ahead.
Well,
I know who
Anybody,
I know who you're talking about and everything, I mean, you're town people. Go ahead.
John, anybody have a question,
I
concern
think
with
the
that?
priority is to get the tractor out of there, so whatever you gotta do to get it out without causing any more damage is
May
fine.
not even charge the town, they've done things before, not charge the town. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
Invite them over for dinner or something like that.
yeah, tell them.
I don't think
Tell them
it's
I'll buy
gonna-
one extra load this year, how's that?
I don't think it's gonna take, a really long bit of time to do it, but we're gonna need to do it, so. Just wanted your blessing on that, I guess.
okay.
You know, these are type of things where I know there's rules. These are type of things where this is where we're talking. You know, go back to what Dan was saying, let's bring this town back together.
That's what, the part of the definition of what a community
Get it
is,
done,
right?
yeah,
Do
get
things
it
for
done.
each other.
And they may not even wanna do it.
Yeah, exactly, then we'll worry about
I
that.
haven't even asked them yet, because I wanted to bring it to you. but,
No, tell them if they do, thank you very much, we appreciate it.
And
Go ahead.
there's some concern with, the log trucks on the road. I have been in constant conversation with the truck drivers and the loggers about what's been going on up there.
A log truck came down today down County Road.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's froze at this point, it's, been.
yeah.
They did, I would say, do some damage, they brought their equipment out, it was poor planning on their part. Nothing extreme, nothing more than, I mean, I don't know how picky you wanna get, I mean, if somebody needs, to get oil or propane and they destroy our road, are we gonna go after the oil company or
Well,
propane?
one of the questions I was gonna ask, and I don't know if it's to you or to the board, we ask people that haul in this town for permits, and we ask people that plow on the back roads for insurances. And I was under the impression that when National Forest hires these people, they're in charge. But now that I heard what they told us tonight is, well, sorry, but, you have to go after the logger or the trucker or so. There are loggers that don't do their own trucking. And then how do we know who's actually doing the work? And should we require National Forest next time they do something to give us a list and the insurances back to us to say, okay, we know you're not you're not responsible, but we don't want to spend all this time figuring out who the heck they are. I mean, that was saying with an excavator, pretty sure it might be the loggers, but it could have been someone else in town that has an excavator that's doing a job.
No, it was.
Has their name on it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying though. I have an excavator, it doesn't have my company name on it.
Has a picture.
I mean, they're doing a lot of this in the middle of the night, early in the morning.
I know.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I just would like to have the town have that list in front of us and say, okay, you really did do a lot of damage. It might not be, but what if they did wreck a bridge or something?
I think before they start next fall, I agree with Mike that we should get a list. They should all have their plowing agreement and their certificate of insurance for, just like the other
I mean,
companies.
we make the camp owners get a plowing agreement. We don't make these guys. It's
Well,
crazy.
so they're not plowing on our town road. The hunter people over on Klondike were.
Well, they did Risky Ranch Road, they thought.
Right. but
We don't have
those
anything-
aren't the people that are creating the problem.
But they still should have a plowing agreement.
They do.
From us?
Risky
Yeah.
Ranch?
Yeah.
Who are they?
That's Hunter.
Hunter excavation. that you
Oh,
signed
okay.
at the
Hunter has,
Okay.
okay, then Klondike doesn't have it.
That's who's over there.
Okay.
They're over on,
On Klondike Risky
they're
Ranch.
over on Klondike Risky. Ranch.
Okay, the other people are coming out of Stamford Pond Road,
Correct.
whatever they.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
need a plowing agreement.
I'm
Oh,
old.
no,
I call it
no,
Stamford
no,
Pond
then
Road.
we don't, okay, so we're good.
So they don't need a plowing agreement for 264, it's a class.
Cause it's not ours.
Trail, it's a trail.
It's
Trail.
trail.
I mean, it is a class 4.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, it's a super highway now, and beautiful.
Okay.
It's good. Alright, I'm good.
Yeah, my question was on the excavators that were coming in.
Okay.
I mean, they definitely, this is a larger scale operation than we typically see when somebody logs in town. You might see a truck a day
Yeah.
or something, but some
Yeah,
of
this
this
is a lot.
they were pulling up traffic. It was definitely less than ideal for us even at times to be able to get our equipment in and out of the garage.
Yeah.
Well-
It's
If they do the Broadbrook one too, that's going to be, are they gonna come down county or are they gonna go down Klondike or Risky Ranch there?
Well, I think that we should get a hold of National Forest too, because they are the ones hiring these people, at least to the point where we get information of, then we can contact these loggers.
Who are your contractors?
Next time, next season they come in, ask that, when she's here again, we'll ask her or reach out to her before then.
I think I'll reach out to her
Yeah.
before.
I mean, I've chased them down a few times.
Yeah.
already.
Oh, thank you. Is that all?
I have a lot more contacts on my phone now than I did before this started. with
Yeah.
some of the
Okay,
truckers.
Stacy's good.
And I've seen them try
Okay,
to get
yeah.
up here. When the road wasn't froze, I saw the trucks coming past my house at
Yeah.
7:00 one night, and I turned my truck and came down here and confronted them about it and turned them around, and I'm sure they weren't happy about it.
Yeah. And I don't
Thank
like
you,
that,
that's
I don't
good.
know about that statement, I mean, that's a truck driver just doing a logging truck, but We don't have to abide by your posted signs? Well,
That is-
okay, we'll make it so you only got this much room to drive through, how's that, you know?
Unfortunately too, that from what, some of the information they relayed to me, I don't know how true it was because I wasn't there, but some residents had, you know, kind of been a little nasty with them too, so their patients probably, you know, there's some issues going on.
Sure.
They're trying to get their job done, people are trying to get home,
Sure, everybody's on a
yeah.
little
He was
edge.
actually quite polite last night when I talked to him. There were 2 tandem trailers that came down and they were stopped on that curve, which is so dangerous, right there in front of the town garage, so they were
Yeah.
backed up around that corner. And it's tough enough to get around, and I just said, when are you guys gonna be done? The road's posted, and he literally said, they don't have to abide by it.
We can check on that.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, in a way, if somebody's gotta get a load of firewood, it's no different than somebody getting a load of oil.
Oh, I get it.
I
Yeah, I
mean, so
understand.
if somebody, I mean, or the electric company, their utility in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how.
Some heavy trucks that go up there for a lot of things,
And
yeah.
if somebody got a box truck delivery today, that's probably almost worse than a log truck, depending on how much is in it. Cause you got it on one set of axles,
Yeah.
you know? The UPS and FedEx deliver, I mean, the UPS guy destroyed Klondike Road a week ago. I mean, I just, personally, the log truck guys, and I know my family's in that business, but they're more, aware.
Yeah,
and
'cause
they
they do
wanna
it,
try
yeah.
to work with you. than
Where did
most
the
of them
UPS
are.
get stuck on Klondike?
I think by Carl's there. I
Oh,
mean, the UPS guy himself told me, so I know it actually happened, but, I mean, I had somebody scream at me today because they said their delivery didn't get delivered because the UPS guy got stuck and, but I don't know how he got
I didn't know
stuck.
you were the foreman of
Yeah, I don't know how he
UPS.
got stuck on the road. They said he got stuck on because there wasn't even a rut in the road, so.
Yeah.
But I can see just by the attitude, you know, of people, like, there are, I don't even like in a meeting, like, there's definitely
Tension?
some tension in
You think?
town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you have, Dave?
I'm trying to.
You're
make
good on
these
roads?
Yeah, I mean, we ordered our new truck.
Good.
So now we're the paving, we'll get to move forward
like
with that
we're
at some
going.
point. But,
Yep.
just have patience. If you get some mud or some potholes, realize that we're gonna take care of it when we can.
You'd already worked on, County Road a little bit.
Well,
didn't
we filled some of the potholes with what we could fill
Yeah.
them with. I mean, right now you can't.
you? I mean, Frosties are Frosties,
Yeah.
you know?
I
They're
mean,
coming out of our road, it's a
Slow
little bit
down.
better.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you know?
some of the hills are a little rough with the, you know, the way the torque of the wheels and the grade, you know, some of the material moves and makes them mobiles, but you gotta go slow at that time. There's not much I can do about that. There's no mud, so if you put stone, you get a bunch of loose stone. If you put a bunch of gravel, you're gonna make
Yeah.
mud. You're gonna make it slimy, try to get up the hill.
How many
so-
people you think actually utilize their four-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Oh,
And just instead of just running it up, going up the hill, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a matter of going slow and having some patience and
Yeah.
realizing that I can't just wave my magic wand and make it
Okay, you good?
okay.
All right,
Feel better?
so,
Yeah.
recycling, anything on recycling?
good.
I see Steve Senical filled in a little bit, so
Mm-hmm.
good there.
Good.
All right. Discussion, Lister update. Deb did get back to me about the Lister training hours. We asked her to do that last meeting.
Yeah.
And to be a Lister, it'll take about 53 hours to become.
I thought,
a
I was
Lister.
gonna say, well, you get a master's degree or something? 53 hours?
But that will be for 1 year.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, you get your
Basic,
your
basically.
Lister 1 certification.
Yep. Okay. And then the question she had for me, and I could not answer it, is did we we set the salary for Lister training, or did we say, yes, you can participate in this? Because now it's going to be about $1,000. So we didn't-
$1,060 to be exact.
Aren't we just waiting for the hours to come back?
Well, that's kind of what I thought too, but I couldn't remember, and I don't
Do
think
you
we did.
anticipate the second year doing less training and the third year doing less training and so on?
Well,
Or what do you-
Nancy, when do we get into this?
What do you think?
I don't know.
I have no job. That's the issue.
Mhm.
And we kind of came to that conclusion today.
Because
I am one person on a board of 3.
So the other member never
No,
came.
I've exhausted every.
Right, everybody, the people that talked at the town meeting are not going to.
I think last
We have
night
no-
they did the open meeting law, VTLC, and I believe that was one of the questions that was asked. It is if I'm a single lister when there's supposed to be 3, and I think the answer was that they don't exist.
They don't exist. So unfortunately, we do have a board, we have an elected board, but there are 2 vacancies. So I'm ineffective. There's nothing for me to do. I can't, because you can never get a quorum with one person.
So is it in the,
We voted at town meeting.
is it a best interest for us to pay her to train?
Well, that's.
So when there is a board, or what if there never becomes a board?
You gotta
That's
prepare
up
for
to
it.
you guys. That's why we pay you guys
I mean,
big bucks.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I mean, as a business owner, I have no problem sending someone to training. Hey, there's always a risk they'll quit. You know, there's always a risk that they don't come back. So I look at it like, okay, say we get someone, you're a 3-year member, and someone comes up 3 years from now. Now you have 2. Can you do it with 2?
Yes.
Yes,
So now you have
You
2.
have a quorum.
because you record.
And now you gotta go get trained, cause we waited. So, but that doesn't answer my question about $1,000 and $1,000 again and $1,000 again. Because again, Bill,
Probably is.
I like training people, but if it was $20,000 to train someone, then I might think twice about it versus 1,000, you know?
You get your level status points.
Okay.
Do we really feel there's anyone out there after all this?
I have a tough time with
effort
this.
To look for somebody
This
that-
Lister thing has beat me to death. It's almost as bad as a sign. I mean, we went from
You're
elected
not
to
supposed to talk about that
appointed.
anymore, remember?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You know that thing out there?
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed because I was.
I mean,
I
we
know.
had it, we.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense.
We mentioned it in town meeting. but
Unless you have 2 people. It'd be nice to send 2 people at the same time to do training. It's a waste of money to send her in hopes to get somebody else.
It doesn't seem like anyone else is coming forward. I mean, we've
Is
been-
this in person or online?
Online.
Some is in.
And I've already started the training and I'm not expecting anything, but I have started it just because some of it's already, I didn't know what your decision would
Right.
be. So I've invested, I don't know.
Maybe a second
At least
person will
2
double up on
yesterday.
the time that they spend
Why? Oh, yeah.
catching up with the training.
Who's the second
Yeah, we
person?
need another
We've been
person,
talking
though.
about this for years, and no one's come forward.
So at the end of a full year, you might have, or year and a half, you may have 2 trained people.
I don't know.
Hopefully,
know.
we're still waiting for somebody else to step forward.
Doesn't seem like. anyone's
We
coming
had someone step forward at the town meeting, but they since have changed their mind.
Yeah.
forward, Which we
The
then
problem,
held a
it
vote.
has been a long time.
We
And
then
that-
Yeah,
held a vote.
which then changed
We
their
then
vote.
held
I
a
mean,
vote to keep it.
No, but I mean, even back when Deb Darling was doing it, she left. That's the last time we had anybody that was actually elected. Then there was no one appointed because there was no
You've had
interest.
other people at town meeting be real noisy and then disappear.
I don't know,
Yeah.
For
maybe.
other-
I think there's a total disconnect on how much money this could actually save the town.
Well, and another thing is, we've never really advertised it as it's gonna pay $20 an hour.
But
That
The
might
other
make
thing I
a
thought
It's a
was,
start.
change too, you know?
And it's so seasonal.
Yeah.
It's not something that somebody can rely on. It's like the zoning administrator position.
My other problem is what happens, so we spend the money to train Deb, what happens, there's a time in her life where she decides she doesn't wanna do it anymore?
Well, that's what I mean, that's a risk you
That's a
take,
risk.
yeah. That's like my business, they can quit anytime they want, can't keep them, you know? know?
We trained constables year
Yeah.
after year
Oh,
for,
yeah.
and had them leave.
I mean, you can have a contract with someone, they still leave, it doesn't matter, you know, costs you more to fight it than it's worth. And then what do you want? You want that guy to stay after you fought with him?
I think you've gotta make the effort to let it get started,
Here's the other
personal
thing.
opinion.
I mean, it's something we got.
Here's
I
the
mean,
other,
I mean, possibly it's, like when we were talking today, it would bring me up to such a good familiarity with the position in general. If she ever needed assistance, I'd be kind of boots on the ground here, where she's 2.5 hours away.
well, that's the other thing. I can scan records to her. I don't know why I didn't think of it before because it was never done that way, but she could work out of her home.
Yeah.
Scan the records. The only thing she needs is the deed, because everything else is online with the state.
the position you have is assessor clerk, right?
Yes,
Now, that is appointed or elected?
you guys appointed me.
That's an appointed job. Okay, I'm just questioning.
You can fire me.
And if
Can I recuse?
Well, hold
I
on now.
want to see if it's ethical.
Does anybody want to do that job? No, you're not fired. Dave. It's like Dave. I've been trying to fire me.
Why can't she be a lister? No?
No,
she
no,
doesn't
no,
want to.
no,
Right.
no,
Seems to be the thing.
nope.
She's smarter than that.
Won't be listening.
Well, it's a good job to take for just training and then quit. I might do it. I flunked the training, right? Yeah, I sit there,
Oh.
drink a beer while I'm watching it.
And how does the law read when it comes to that lister position if you're two listers, if you have two elected listers like you and Deb, then she could effectively do her job, right? Without
Correct.
you being trained? How does that work? I mean, I don't know what the law reads on that. Maybe Deb knows.
Do I?
Okay,
Yeah.
when we were talking about that today, if you ever had to go in front of, if you were ever sued, if the town was sued for a decision that was made that was incorrect, you have so much more
Teeth,
teeth.
if you have a
If
certified
gone through the
lister.
training and
Yeah.
not just somebody that walked in and said,
I get that. Well, my question is that you maintain the lister, doing the lister stuff. She does her lister clerk stuff and does some training once in a while, maybe.
You are doing the training anyways, right?
I did the training, but I don't
Why are
want
you
to
doing, why are you doing the lister training?
because I want to
You just
know
want
how
to
to.
be smart?
Yeah. No, I want to know how to put these homesteads in and stuff. I don't know how to do that.
Oh,
Can we
okay.
post it?
Okay, but it is
Yeah.
part of that
Yeah.
training is
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, would that be adequate? What I'm saying is, would that be adequate to like justify her position? I mean, for her to be
Her,
able to.
you know, because we need three. What he's basically saying is if she becomes the second, then
But
now
doesn't
Deb,
actually do the listed. the
right,
hard
but
stuff.
Deb can now do something.
You have to go up in front of people to justify any decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
wanna do
that's
that.
fine. Yeah, I'm not
Can we
gonna-
post the second position, like in the Berkshire Eagle?
That's what I'm wondering, if we just
$20
give
an
this a little bit
hour
of,
and-
little bit more
Gotta
time,
be a townsperson.
Has to be a.
because it's elected, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She told us today it's got.
So
Yeah.
can we post it with a $20 an hour starting salary
Well,
with
that might make
training
people
and
step to the plate a little bit more. Right now, this is the first time we've ever mentioned money. That there
$20
was a
to
set
start
fee.
and, once training?
Yeah, this is the first time we've ever set a fee or a,
She
you
did
know,
say that
salary.
they have a template for,
Advertising.
advertising.
And we do know that there's at least 50 hours of training for this position in 1 year, correct?
So, yeah, paid training.
Yeah,
A year
not
and a
even
half.
now, because
It's gonna
it
drop
kinda
off.
stops in August.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, if we advertise this, someone came in next week or next meeting, we hired them, or we can appoint an elected position, right?
Yes.
Because the election will wait till the following election, it would only be until the following election,
Mhm.
and they'd have to run for election. But in the time, but we could say, we know there's at least 50 hours of training that will be paid for, not counting other times that you need to do the job, you know? You know, because someone's gonna say, well, how many hours am I gonna get, you know? You're gonna pay me 20 hours $20 an hour and I'm gonna get 1 hour, might as well become a selectman.
Is this only good for 1 year? Elected?
No, she's
3.
3 years.
3
And they
years
must be,
rotating.
they're rotating. So, but we can appoint someone until, it'll just be until the next election.
Oh, you can't give somebody
The 3 years?
3 years?
No. It's just like if we didn't have anybody running for, Doug's position, well, he was up for election, but
So
if I quit right now, yeah, what's it, 2 more years? You could appoint someone for 2 years, but not my full
Right.
3.
so even if somebody comes forward and wants a position, they have to be elected.
We could,
We can appoint them till next March.
until next year.
It's already been elected.
So we could appoint somebody, train somebody, and then
They'll run for election, and I don't see anybody running
No.
against them.
so
Hopefully
yeah,
they'll
like
stay
That'd be
on and wanna
If
do
we
it
have that
and like
problem,
it.
we'll worry about
put
that.
it, put it out there. We're looking for a
Well, there's another,
town,
there's
town
actually 2
resident.
positions.
Yeah.
You're right though, Kurt. I mean, people don't understand it. Although it looks like, oh geez, we gotta pay $1,000 for training. Nimerick is $1,000 in a week.
Every time.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
Yeah, you
well,
know?
it's probably like 1,000 just for them to come here.
It's $100 an hour, so they come here a couple days, yeah.
She's
Yep.
here for
It's a lot of
6
money.
hours.
They come up from like
So
White
there you
River
go,
Junction
you
or
know?
something like that. They get paid for travel.
We just thought, well, you got people
But I'm
debating the
gonna,
$1,500 being handed
email
at the
her
end of
stuff.
the handout at the end
Scan
of the
stuff
election.
to her.
Yeah.
What was that? That was like $1 million
Yes,
or
that's what I'm
something.
gonna do. At least save the travel time.
Would Nimerick charge us?
100,000, well, less than 100,000
For,
last year.
For
So,
reappraisal?
Yeah, for all their appraisal.
Yeah,
For the reappraisal
Yeah.
itself, like
It's like
85,
80-something, yeah.
89,000?
yeah, I think it was quoted at like 100,000. But they charge you for going to court, if you have
The
an
extra.
abatement, like we had that court thing we had to do.
Yeah.
They charge us for that. They charge you for the travel time, you know. They're
And then
anytime they do work that's not even here, they charge you.
that's like every 4 years or something. The state's mandating that has.
I heard they want to do
has-
it again, like in 3 years.
More up.
So you
4
know,
to 6 years, depending what.
You think
the
our
state
value will
figures.
go down?
complaining about your taxes going up. Somebody
Where are they
jump
gonna
in
find
and
somebody
help
to do it?
out.
Oh, they were just talking about reevaluating a rate
Well, I
Yeah.
just asked,
within the next.
Just so they can get more money.
who was saying that, the school or state?
No,
The state.
Digger?
the state.
Yeah.
Hoover,
Yeah.
When Hoover was here.
You gotta sell your houses to your kids for less money and then our valuation.
Or make sure everybody
Right.
files their homestead, because that count, even if you don't have to pay taxes, you need to file your homestead.
Right.
It's counted.
Matter if
Not
your
really that
valuation
big of a
goes
difference.
It depends on who
down,
you
then
are.
the rate just goes up.
It's all about your money.
How big of a discount is a homestead though? We do it every year, but I don't see a very significant difference.
Well, it's counted in other ways too. The states, that when you file your taxes, somebody else says, oh, he's a resident of Stamford, and they use it for whatever else they use it for.
Yeah, but I pay
Somebody was
a
talking about that.
higher rate for my camp than I do my house by a lot. I mean, I'm paying for that stupid camp up there, $3,500 a year for a camp. No run, nothing. It's just a box. You know?
Tons of camps around here. Well, don't even know they're here.
Well,
Hopefully we can find them.
that's true.
Hopefully we can find them.
And
'cause
then you
there's a-
have the next thing is, oh, well, it's on wheels.
Hold on.
You got one right there on the hill. What's the plants? Right on the right.
Onward.
Okay. So what do we decide there? What are we doing?
I think we should, I
Yeah,
think
we should
post
post
it
it.
one more time.
Post?
Run it-
If nobody
run that
comes,
play
then
one
we're,
more time.
I don't
All
know.
right.
you know.
So in the meantime, do we pay Deb for training?
I think we have to, because as the courses go, you know, on and
She's gonna
on,
lose them.
she's gonna lose it, you know, so it's just
So it's
wasted
it's
money if
yeah,
we don't.
It's a
It was like a
yeah,
gamble
yeah.
that,
I'm not going anywhere.
I think you can have.
no, it's a gamble if we,
You might
if
get
you
hit
don't-
by a logging truck coming
Oh.
down. I'm sorry, I said
don't
that.
even
Wow.
say that, oh gosh.
Crushed by an excavator.
Maybe Sheila might want to do it.
Post
The
it.
next one is the 26th, and then we have the 27th, current use.
Look, she's an elected official. She came forward, sat down, took the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the
Let's do it.
training.
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
I mean, if if we had to, we'd be paying her.
That's right.
Nancy, are you doing current use? That's all day on the 26th, the 27th is the grand list seminar, all day.
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
So when you post it, we'll post it around town, we'll post it on the website. Are we, like,
Posting it in the paper?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, the Berkshire Eagles are like
For
our
two, right?
paper, right? So,
Yeah,
but
we're
it's
looking
gotta
for
be a
two.
Stanford resident, you said.
For
Yeah.
two listers,
Yep, just in case, we're looking for two.
$20
Yeah.
an
Two
hour
positions open.
to start, paid training.
Stanford Town hiring.
Yeah.
Must
training,
be,
resident.
must be a town resident.
But you know, we're doing a lot of work for the state right now too. Deb, she wasn't here for this part, but for the homesteads, we're coming down, like I said before, we're coming, you file your homestead with the state. I know you filed, then so it comes down here, yes, you're a resident, you gotta check this, then you go and you upload it to their VPI. And say, yes, 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 yes. And then the state sets a grand list on that. And it has to match ours. And so it looks like we're doing the state's work.
Yeah.
They should build a state. Oh, but they did say we get $1 per parcel. I think somebody, did you write that? Somebody wrote it, or?
That much
No,
for
it was
a
in
copy,
this,
don't you?
it was in the seminar, $1 per parcel for grand list maintenance.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll post that. Have the applications in by 2 weeks? Is that enough time? Yeah, we better. Because training will all be done.
See what happens.
We'll get really the end of training, okay. All right, town office maintenance.
So, I had that water spot that appeared underneath my chair.
And we found out what's the cause of it, so.
It's not Laurie.
We did kind of cut the rug and open it up and let it dry. And it's gone back to being dry. It came in the fall, we picked up the plastic mat and let it dry, and then it didn't come back again until this spring. So some kind of water is coming up from underneath. A carpet man came and gave me a quote of $2,200 to like seal the surface to protect any more water coming up and then recarpet it. It could be tiled instead of carpeted. We have a lot of other options. We could maybe just sit and wait and see if it leaks again. I don't know, but I wanted to bring it forward to you guys to think about it. At some point, we'll have to deal with it. Is there mold or anything? Well, when you pull the carpet up, it really stuck.
Smelled musty.
It was mildew. It wasn't
Musty.
mold, but it was mildew.
Musty, yeah.
Concrete floor, no, that right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so it's porous though, concrete can, you know,
Yeah.
water can go through it. I'm having the same problem down at my shop with a lot worse problems, but,
Groundwater.
I looked at it, I think one of my only questions would be is if we do go forward with it, carpet or tile should be up to you. What you prefer, cause I would like tile because I think it's easier to maintain. You know, I don't know what you want, I don't know what you guys feel, but if we do it, if we don't do it, and it gets worse where there is mold, it's gonna cost you more money. It's another one of those risk things. You can, you know, your car's broke down and the guy says, well, I think it's this. And you can say, I don't think it is, I'm not gonna fix it, and it gets worse, or you can get that fixed and then it's still not that, but that's where we're at.
Well, that
We
carpet's
fix it and the water comes back.
Then we spent $2,000 on something that didn't work.
I feel like you almost need like a section in there where you could put a pump if you have to when the water gets to a certain point, because otherwise
I mean, where's the water
you could
coming from?
you could
My
just seal it, but the water's
Should
gonna
we
go
leave
somewhere
it
else.
groundwater?
It's seeping up through, I looked at it too, it's seeping up through, there's.
So it's only
doesn't
when
look
the
like a
water
crack,
table's
it's
high.
exactly-
Why
We don't know.
why
So all
so much
summer
groundwater?
it's not good.
Why
Right.
so much
It's
groundwater?
just,
Well,
That'd be the
Out front,
question.
You see the big huge piles of snow and stuff?
Yeah, we had a puddle there that we didn't have before. That puddle is kind of new. That's,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what
It is
that's
smaller
what I'm
today than
concerned
it is
about the
now.
whole aspects of it.
So there was a frost heave there that was preventing it from draining, but I think I
Yeah.
brought this up before that it wasn't freezing when it was,
Yeah.
10 below zero out.
Seems
Some
like we're
things-
adding groundwater from something other than snow melt.
Yeah. There was something going on, like there's a vein of water.
yeah, because the
coming
school
around.
says that it's not a broken pipe.
Well,
They
it could
test
be
it.
broken from the well
Well,
to
the
the
river
Well, they
was
tested
there.
over there.
They're telling us
tested
that
it.
there's no
They
broken pipes
scoped,
because
they
they
scoped
tested.
the well.
That's
No,
what
they
you told
did.
me.
I thought they did. Did they do a scope?
They need
I
to
don't know
send,
they
they
did
need to
scope.
send a scope down there.
See, I thought they just did a pressure test,
I think that's what they did.
They-
which I don't know where they would have a base pressure, but that's,
I mean, they need to scope it, I think.
yeah.
They need to
So
see if there's a
when
crack in the
When
pipe.
the guy was here from the school, we looked up on the hill as you come down the driveway. It turns right there, about level between the sign and the flagpole, straight out on that entrance, there's a crack in the asphalt. And when it did freeze and it was cold, it looked like it opened up even more, and the water was literally, I thought it was
Finding that.
It was not finding it.
No,
It was
finding
coming out of
it, yeah. Oh, coming out
It
of
was
it.
coming out of it and going right down to that puddle that
Mhm.
ends up there,
Yeah.
and now you gotta crack down
So
there
the
as well.
supply from the well to the school, that's made out
So
of
that's-
what?
it
Gas?
wasn't- It wasn't coming from the well, it was actually above the well, that crack's above.
Where's the well, over this side or this side?
Right by the flagpole.
flagpole.
Behind the
Oh,
flagpole.
right, oh, okay.
So if it's,
Um.
is it cast, is it clay? I'm sure it's not PVC pipe.
It's concrete, or it's paint
Pipe,
with a
the
crack.
the supply line from the well.
It's probably cast iron,
So that's down below the crack.
which could
Okay.
be,
50,
Broken
70,
and
70-year-old cast
So it
iron in
wouldn't
the
be-
ground.
I doubt they use
Dave,
copper.
what if we found a way to drain that puddle or put a deeper swale there? Would it drain and,
Well, we're gonna get that frost heave again, so it's the
Yeah.
same thing. That was
Well,
all
yeah.
done correctly to start with.
Yeah,
then
that's
there's
true.
a frost heave there.
I mean,
Why is
if
there a
it's,
frost heave there?
if it's leaking a lot,
This place has been here forever though too. Who's to say it's got proper drainage around the building? And
Well, like you
We
said,
dug in it, it's all gravel.
I
but
think
why is
things
there a
have
frost
changed
heave?
the last year, cause remember everybody on Mill Road, not Mill, Jefferson Road, a lot of people there lost their water.
Mm.
Then the church got a lot of water in the basement, why, we don't know.
I mean,
Flooded basements and everything.
I don't know where here we go again with the responsibility, okay? Is the town responsible for the well and so on? We're gonna go into that. Whose budget's gonna come out of? If you gotta do a scope and see if it's broke, that's the cheapest thing to do to
I
see if
think we
it's
should
broke.
do it.
it's gonna be cheaper than a
I mean,
supply.
I would like to just, talk to the school and say, can you do that?
Can
They
one of
should
you
rule that
ask, can
out.
one of you ask the school board what was done? Cause we just got it from Maya.
When's their next meeting?
I don't know.
There's a vein of water that's running there. Where it's coming from, I can't say for sure. but Water's
Where else
water
would it be coming?
freezes, like there was no other running water. And the
Right.
ground is froze, right? So it's coming up, it's finding that crack and it's
Sure.
coming
Yeah,
up, right? But then when the ground thawed, now there's no water there because the water's draining down through.
Right.
So that's why you.
No, I agree with
and
that.
Laurie never
So there's
saw
definitely
anybody here
something going on
testing
there.
or anything.
I mean, it's logical that it's a well.
That's what I ask you, is the source makes more sense that it's the well than it is the river over there.
To me, then it does. I mean, the water table of the river is not
No, of course,
here.
I would say, then let's have them check it out.
Yeah.
See if they'll get that done. And then, because again, if we put money into something and it doesn't work, it's a waste.
Right.
On the other hand, is we can't have this keep happening.
No.
No, I mean,
I
you're
had
gonna create a
trouble there.
sinkhole eventually.
In the past,
Yeah.
and, you know, you salt it, the wind dries it, or whatever, the sun dries it, and it's
It's
over.
never dried, yeah.
But it never dried all winter.
I come every morning and shovel the water off of the kids.
Yeah.
Slide across the
So-
lake.
So-
And we've never had, Lori's never had this issue, and I'm sure Nancy has not.
Right.
And that carpet's been down 30 years, just almost 30 years the
So why
carpet's
don't we
been down.
just ask the school to do that for now?
if they'd scope it, or find out what they did, because,
Do you want me to ask them?
yes,
Do you want me to go
yes.
to a meeting, or you want me to just go talk to the principal?
Talk to the
Sooner the
principal
better,
and
I
get
would say.
something in writing, or see what they did for a test.
Yeah. And then we'll go from there.
Yes. So Lori, in the meantime, are you comfortable having that carpet under that plastic, or do you wanna cut it out and put something there?
It doesn't bother me.
The carpet is so thin that I don't think that plastic is gonna dip down either.
Oh, no, I just, if it was wet, the plastic would keep the water, that's all dried up now.
So I think we're good. Okay. All right, and just watch it. All right. Sign revised MERP grant agreement.
So, we had asked to do the highway garage doors, the big doors, and then the side entry man door. And there was extra money, so they decided to upgrade the electrical, so Dave could use a generator and stuff. And that was kind of thrown in at the end. And when it came time to ask for payment, they realized the grant agreement didn't have the electrical upgrade, so they had to do a new grant agreement to include that. And we've already gotten paid for it, so it's just a formality.
Sound-
So we got paid for both the door and electrical?
Yes.
Okay. And when did that money come in January, I think, though, right?
That might have been in February.
Oh, okay, that's good. These can all go back to Lori too. Okay, sign uniform municipal excess weight permit, RK Miles.
Okay, Miles, and then this week we also got one from AmeriGas, so there's two.
These are the overweight permits.
Yes, I did have extra correspondence.
So,
Second.
so technically, these log trucks should be signing these too.
I think you guys made a decision before, if somebody does it great, you're taking the money, but you're not hunting people.
Right. Yep.
So.
They're not offering, we're not
Policies.
hounding them, okay? Okay. Old business, 911 numbering update, any update from, okay, but last I knew they were working on it. New business, we got the letter, we read that already. Anybody else have? Old business,
I
okay.
have a question, and Lisa just left that, maybe Jim. During the planning board, they're talking about, the town plan, not the bylaws, correct?
Right.
That's what your goal is, okay.
There's,
I just have one question, are you talking about the town village at all?
well, it's part of the.
Is there a
conversation.
possibility that town village can be expanded?
That's what
Wait.
I was hoping, but
Okay.
it was already decided, but then I've been doing some research on it and it's not decided yet. It's
Okay.
like, it's.
Well, I always thought remember when they first did it, they said, well, we start small, but then we can add things around it, called something different.
There's also like, I think it's like a 1/4 acre circumference around that village that you can designate as a planned development
Yeah.
area. I'm not
Well,
sure
I mean,
what
it's
that-
no secret, I bought a building down the road, and then you got John's next door to me, and, Belmont store, those, and actually Pam has permits
I always
for
viewed
a
that as a
business.
commercial district, if there's such a thing in Stamford.
But there isn't, and
Yeah.
if I did start a store there and I wanted to get, and it's a personal thing too, but I was looking, saying that's a lot of property that could expand and help the town.
And that's where,
It's not just me.
right,
There's
that's my
other
issue
things
too.
behind
There
that
was,
that are the issue.
there's something I didn't really understand that I wanted to, once we really dove into it. We had to, I guess, is Lisa over there?
No, she was.
So we had to tell the state or Bennington, we're gonna have a village center. We decided we're gonna have a village center. Then they came with a map and said, show us where it is.
Okay.
And it was Lisa and Pete worked on something about, okay, here it is. And I said, well, why wouldn't you expand it to the Mass border and to the bridge? That's where I see a village.
Sure.
Quarter mile up.
They refused it, they refused it at their level, they said it was too big.
Who did?
The
Because didn't
Bennington
they say
County
it was
Regional
too big or
Commission.
something?
It was too big, they
Too
said
big.
it'll never pass. So they.
What they really want is the quarter acre circumference, that's the development area that surrounds the village. So that's where you get condensed development.
So what's,
Ultimately, that's the goal.
You guys should be the one to be looking at where you guys want the village, and we will tell Bennington and go from there. I mean, that's. the
No,
only
this
thing
is
I
a
can say.
personal thing more than it is a select board thing by a lot, you know.
We actually
Oh,
had
yeah,
to
I
fight, we had to fight just to get the store on it.
But it opens us up for grants and stuff. You.
Sorry, Lord.
Lordy.
Well, I was taking the minutes of the meeting back when they created the village district, and they wanted it very large, from the town line to the bridge and out. And they submitted it to the state, BCRC said, I don't think it'll fly. And the state is the one who denied it and said, absolutely not, and gave us the postage stamp that we have.
Why?
But, well, they have to fund grants.
They don't wanna give
area.
too many
They don't
grants
want a
out.
big area.
But when you got properties that are so far apart,
But they turned
But
around.
that girl came last year, that Callie, or
Right.
whatever her name is, and said, we can open it up. The state is
Yes.
allowing different things.
Right.
Now's the time to change the village district.
But there was something they were complaining about.
And it never really happened.
Oh,
It just
now
kind of
it's-
died.
Something that, yeah.
Because there was a time when she said, you guys can do whatever you want. And.
well, I would like the planning board to look into it, and if I need to go to the planning board meeting and bring it up, I will. I'm just saying that if there is an opportunity, especially down towards the line, and if I could get, like, say I go and ask for a grant for solar or windows, you know, something good.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to ask for a grant to put something bad in. I want, you know, I mean, I want to do good for the town. But, you know, if there's grants available, that's nice, you know, and there's more business that way than there is this way by far.
The push this year was actually to go up to the town garage. I think that's what Pete and Lisa were trying to do. They're trying to get it extended to the garage up there to have that be open for grants, but they said it was too detached. Basically too far away from
Yeah.
the center.
From the other house or
I think
something.
going that way would not be too.
Yeah, exactly. And there's municipal grants for these guys.
Right.
For a town village type thing.
Mhm.
You know, if I wanted to put some kind of, you know, housing in or something, that would be nice, you know. You know, could have a couple apartments in there or something that could
I
be
didn't bring-
grant money, you know.
I didn't bring my paperwork with me today, but, the grant that you guys received to do these sidewalks and stuff, well, something to do with the transportation department and stuff. Well, we missed it, the deadline was, November, no, when was it? Just last month, I think it was the deadline for a grant for village that had to be designated. And it was the same typical, you know, it was that same grant, but only for village centers. It was basically that had to be designated, and we are designated already. Where it goes to, I mean, I don't know if that's actually been done yet, because that's part of the town.
Well, I'd
plan.
like to just look into if it can be expanded, which it sounds like it can be. And it will, and if it doesn't pass, it doesn't
So
pass, you know, we already can do it.
Come to the next planning commission meeting. I think Lisa put Callie on the agenda again, because there's been some movement in the town plan and stuff.
When is your next meeting? On Mondays?
Second Monday?
Second Monday.
Second Monday?
I mean, I think
Of next month?
I think you can submit whatever you want to the state, and then it goes to some board of approval for it, and
We
they
already
decide-
have
they
one, so it
decide
won't hurt to
whether-
ask now, right?
Well, if you wanted to expand it, you would probably have to go, I mean, I think the Bennington
You wouldn't
County-
lose the whole thing, would you?
No.
That's what I'm saying, so if you already have this and you just wanna make it bigger.
Right.
It doesn't hurt to
I
ask.
agree with you. I think it should be all main road to the line, just
Yeah.
from the bridge to the line.
Okay,
Like it's the 13th.
13.
This makes sense. Whole year.
Stay away from my place.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, new business,
That was my new business.
okay? Any other new business? Can I have a motion to go into executive session? Deb, were you coming in, or we solved all your problems now?
We just
That was
created
your,
more.
that was your question. I think we're
Yeah,
good.
unless you need me for
No, I think we're good. Jim, you wanted to come in.
Yeah, just for
'cause
a minute.
we, okay, we
Good
have to
night, all.
address this. Good night, Bill.
Thank you.